Good afternoon to you from Watkins, Glen International, upstate New York. We're here for weekend number 5 of Ferrari Challenge North America. Those cars are the cars of Coppershell and Coppershell Am, heading out for their second race of the weekend. They had a wet qualifying this morning, although to be fair, it's pretty much the usual suspects up front. We have had a couple of people who had their very first ever pole positions, and we'll look forward to seeing whether they can hang on and take the top step of the podium as well. We started in Sonoma, then it was Daytona, Miami, Indianapolis, Watkins Glen this weekend, Laguna Seca in mid-September, and then those drivers who wish to continue to Finale Mondiale at Mugello may do so for the 7th and final weekend of the year. The calendar is out for next year. I'm not going to reveal it on air in case it's not on the socials yet, but I'm sure it'll be on the socials at some point if you're on Ferrari's various mailing lists, heading to some excellent tracks next year. But that's next year. We've got this year to finish first. We're here at Watkins Glen International. My name's Andrew Cody. Alongside me is Shay Adams. Shay, you are... Can I call you a regular at Watkins Glen? I think I can.
Oh, I think you can. I come here at least twice a year for the last almost decade, and it's a beautiful place to come to. 3.4 miles, 11 turns. Corners known by their names. The uphill S's leading onto the back straight, into the bus stop, the carousel at the exit of that. Then we come down into the boot. You've got the laces, the toe, the heel, and then that beautiful turn 11 back onto the front straight. This is a shot of the bus stop. Very different looking from the time that our competitors were out there in the qualifying session earlier on, Andrew, in that there is nothing wet left on the track.
No, there is not, although Shay's a big fan of the radar and we're watching it. She could definitely be British, the amount we've talked about the weather this weekend. There are some storms about, but at the minute, as you can see, 37 Celsius track temperature. It's nice and warm and dry, and it's looking like dry racing, we think. But what's the term? Pop-up storms?
Pop-up showers.
Pop-up showers. We have like a pop-up, I don't know, market, you know? You know what I mean?
It's very similar. It appears and then it goes away.
Okay, good. Yeah. There we go. So a pop-up shower is a possibility.
Correct. And the showers are popping up all around the radar. There was one that was heading straight for us. That dissipated. And now one that has appeared out of nowhere. It's about 30 miles away right now, but it is quite heavy rain. So I'm keeping an eye on that. And it's moving in our direction. So it looks like at least the start of the race will be dry. There's a chance before the end that maybe we just get into a wet condition again. And in that wet qualifying, we saw 2 new pole sitters come to the front in the form of first, well, in terms of starting the race today, will be John Fiskup, but it was in the Shell Am class. Melissa Kazira had warned you and me earlier this weekend about the possibility of driving in rain and how exciting that was. She thrived in it.
Yeah, she did. She was absolutely brilliant. She was all smiles, and it was great to see her on the top step for qualifying at least. Now she got a hold of yesterday's winner, of course, Lewis Fleury. We've got Gabe Pribb, the championship leader as well, behind her, Jeffrey Nunberg. So she'll have her work cut out. But I'm looking forward to seeing what she can do starting from the pole. We have a third member of the team. She's down in pit road, Nina Jade Poole.
Yes, absolutely. Race 2 at Watkins Glen is about to get underway, and it's the last time these drivers will drive on this tarmac before the showdown in Laguna Seca in September. If you were with us during qualifying, you would see it was mixed conditions. The majority of the field qualified on wet weather tyres, but Shay, like you say, the track is now bone dry. However, as I was walking up to the pit lane, it was raining very lightly, but there were pockets and drops of rain coming down. So I don't think this story is over yet, but for now the track is dry. It's business as usual. The cars are going around doing their recon lap. They will be with us very, very shortly.
Thank you, Nina Jade. Looking forward to getting this one underway. We'll see what happens with the weather. If you're not familiar with the track, Jan Bernier, who lines up third on the grid in Coppershell, took us for a spin around it earlier on in the week. Have a look at this.
Hi, my name's Jan Bernier. I'm the driver of the number 132 296 Challenge car, and I'm going to take you on a hot lap around Watkins Glen. Coming over the start-finish, looking for the 300 for braking in turn 1. We want to turn down early, taking advantage of the camber and the banking here. Riding up on the first half of the little curve on the right, and then getting the power as soon as possible. And on the exit curve, we need to be careful not to exceed track limits. Up through the S's, the key is to remain as flat as possible, lifting as little as possible and early if we need to lift at all, getting our rides really far forward. We're going to be at the top of the S's at least 150 miles an hour and probably hitting 170 before we break into the inner loop. The key to entry into the inner loop is to carry as much speed in the first 2 apexes as possible. We'll run through here in 5th gear, being patient but hopefully not tracking out too far to the right, back to full power, and we're going to stay flat as long as possible, then fully lift, trying to get the front end to hook up and get us down into the carousel. On the way out of the carousel, we entered the chute. Here we're looking to brake as late as possible in a straight line, and then waiting for the front end to turn down to the apex. When we spot that the tower out to the right, we know we can go back to full power using all the curbing out here, even if we might kick up a little dust occasionally. Into the toe, we're going to brake at 200 in a straight line, wait for the front end again to turn around, and now we're going to try to get to full power as soon as possible, driving it up the hill, because this is a very uphill part of the track and it's important to get a good exit. This weekend we get to roll back to full power here and not have to worry so much about going wide at the exit, so it should be pretty interesting through the race. Full power and then up the hill to the left. This is a tricky turn. We just need to be very patient before we roll the power. The key is to use the hill to slow the car and then get to the apex. Avoid touching the throttle too soon and then using all the exit curbing. The last two turns, turn 11, are really part of the same complex. We want to sacrifice the exit at turn 10 here, just rolling it in fifth gear, full power, not going over this exit curb. We can get up against it. Braking at the end of the tire wall here, down to fourth gear, rotate the front of the car, and then full power. Hopefully we end up at the start-finish line with our mirror still attached, but sometimes we don't. And that's the lap around historic Watkins Glen International.
Fantastic stuff from Jan Bernier guiding us around the circuit. He would make an exceptional television presenter with a chat like that, wouldn't he? I thought he was really good.
Yeah, it's almost like he's done that before.
But you know what, it's funny, lots of drivers are good at doing it, but then if you ask them to do it for TV, then they're not so good. And I loved it. I loved the description. It was as relaxed as I felt his driving looked. We mentioned yesterday just the thumb and one finger on the wheel in lots of places. He's a man who's on top of the car. He said at Indianapolis he really feels like he's at one with it. So.
And he's really having a season that he's been aiming for such a long time. I mean, he has not been off the podium this year. 2 pole positions, 1 fast lap. Yesterday's race coming home second. There was no challenge really to go because Mitchell Green had such a dominant start to the race and just held on to it. Gary Ott started from pole yesterday. He looks ready to try and do a little bit of revenge for today's race.
Yeah, he'd be comfortable, I'm sure, starting in P4, won't he, rather than on pole. He would have liked the pole, but he did get swallowed up again, and I know he'll work on that because he loves it. I know he'll work on it, so it'll be interesting to see where he goes. I do love the dogs and cats on Jarrett Belichick's cars.
We need to know from Jared if all of them have names.
Yeah, are they like family pets or just random gifts from the internet?
You would hope that they would be family
I hope
pets.
they're family pets, yeah.
Mitchell Green's car ready to go as well. Number 179 found victory lane yesterday. He very nearly found the wall in qualifying this morning.
Yeah, well, he found the wall yesterday, if you remember. He tapped Champions Wall, didn't he? As they've called it. Champions Wall is what Mitchell Green and his coach have called the wall that's on the exit of turn 11 onto the start-finish straight. And yeah, he did find the Champions Wall.
But
so
qualifying this morning was excellent from
tiny
him.
miss.
So close to the wall, got it gathered back up, went back out, and set the second fastest lap afterwards.
Yeah, really impressive. Really impressive. Well, if you remember, he went out, didn't he, at the time and went 1.6 quicker than anyone had gone. So you'd think after the spin he'd have lost the confidence. But again, that's another good sign of the driver he's becoming, which is mistake, move on, next thing.
Yeah, and this guy on camera now, Roy Carroll, car number 121, he had a day yesterday where he didn't qualify the car, saved the tires for the race, went out and was picking them off. It was a bit like an attack hornet, you know, just going after the prey. And it was a really good effort from Roy, and he's ready to go once again. Good to see that guy back in this series. Love having Roy Carroll in the field. Ran a car at Le Mans a few years back, a Ferrari with the same livery on it. Good to see that he's ready to go. But in order to get ready to go, we have to fire up the engines, and that honor goes today to Nina Jade.
Yes, we have something very important to do before we get going. So without further ado, drivers, start your Ferrari engines.
Nearly ready then for race 2. As our cameraman jogs down. Look at this, jogging down pit road. This is impressive, isn't it?
That's the dedication you get from Morrow.
Yeah, it's hot out there. I'm impressed. We're on row 3 already.
Oh, it's Orbaugh. That's John Orbaugh, our camera guy, jogging with the cars. John, glad you're back this weekend. I miss working with you, buddy. Doors are shut. The water bottles have been taken out of the cars.
Leaf blowers off.
Yep,
yeah,
leaf blowers
anything
off.
to get a breeze into the car. We were expecting, maybe a wet race, but there is still a chance of some rain. If there is, we'll probably see a red flag and then a tyre change. Much as I'd love to see the team scrabbling to change wheels during the race, that's not how we're going to do this. Yeah, let's get ourselves good to go.
We just got a shot of one of our cars who had strife yesterday's race, the number 111 of Brian Waltersdorf. It is the backup car for Waltersdorf. Glad to see that the 111 is back out on the track, though, and will be taking place in today's race.
There is pit road with the safety car at the front and a lovely empty track ready to welcome our drivers for the action. Good stuff. Rollout lap then about to occur. We're going to get all of our 296 Challenge cars out and ready to go for race number 2. This is round 10 of the season. We've got Coppershell and Coppershell Am now, and if you stay with us later on, we will have Trofeo Pirelli and Trofeo Pirelli Am as well. Round 10 of Ferrari Challenge North America on the second race of weekend number 5, coming to you from Watkins Glen International in upstate New York. Here is your grid. On the front row, John Viscup with his first ever pole position, alongside him Mitchell Green, who dominated yesterday. Jan Bernier, the championship leader, not off the podium all year on row 2. Gary Ott looking for that win. On row 3, Jarek Bilecek, great performance in qualifying in tricky conditions this morning with Roy Carroll next to him. Then it's Brian Waltersdorf and Brad Evans on row 4. Row 5, Joel Rose and Mike Luley. Mike Luley has raced 30 years in Ferrari Challenge. And it's Mike Chen and Andrew Parker. Row number 7 up next, Lisa Clark and Joe Sposato. And then on to row number 8, Melissa Kozira, the pole sitter for Coppershell Am. What a fantastic performance by her. Louis Flory next to her, then Gabe Hribb and Jeffrey Nunberg. On to row 10, Lance Corley and Danny Patel. Patel with another great qualifying performance, hoping for better luck today. Henry Hummel and Michael Owens, row number 11. Row 12 is Ed Vartugi and Jeffrey Keel. Row 13, Ram Chada and Helen Chu, who we had an onboard with earlier today during qualifying, and then Tom Petromolo and Anthony DiCarlo. Petromolo pulled over the side of the road on the exit of the pits, and DiCarlo, I'm not sure if DiCarlo took the start yesterday, so I think probably won't be taking the start again today, but here we go. Right, Gary Ott starting from P3, yesterday's pole sitter, got beaten to turn 1 by Green and Bernier, but they're all starting today behind John Viscup. You're on board with Lance Corley here, so Corley is down in Coppershell Am. They'll put a decent gap in between the two categories. That was after we had a particularly, what should we call it, interesting incident in Miami where somebody in the second pack enthusiastically sort of 10-pin bowled the first pack. So it's a much better idea that we want both categories to be able to race, Shay, and so having the space actually allows row 1 of Coppershell Am to race as well. You don't want them coming up against the back row of Coppershell. That's not the way to do it.
No, and it gives the Shell Am competitors a feel that they are their own grid. The pole sitter has earned the right to control their own start, and that's our overall
that is our
pole sitter.
That's John Viscup not going to be taking the start, which means that Mitchell Green will be on the front row alone. Jan Bernier now needs to be careful not to cheat up, because that would be viewed as starting out of line, and that would then be a penalty.
I was just thinking as the safety car switched the lights off, I was like, where's Viscup? So that is an absolute disaster. So Viscup won't convert today. What this does give, though, is Jan Bernier a clear line up the inside of Mitchell Green. It opens it up for him, and one less car for Gary Ott to pass as well. Bilecek is in there. Look, they're right tucked up with Roy Carroll on the outside too. Round towards turn 11 on the exit now, you'll see the safety car dart off to the right, and then it's up to Mitchell Green to get us underway. He will wait until as late as he dares, or you can see Bernier was desperate to go. Great reaction by Bernier. Green flag down towards turn 1. It's a good start by Mitchell Green. Gary Ott is there on the outside of Bernier. Bernier goes late and deep on the brakes, but Green sticks to his line, turns in across him. Carroll gets there before Bilecek in the background. It's a clean start from everybody in Coppershell, and in the background we'll figure out what's happened with Coppershell, and they are already onto the back of that Coppershell pack. So it's Green, Bernier, Gary Ott out front.
And once again, race control will look at the start. That's standard operating procedure. So if you see something come up on the screen about potential penalty, that's because race control is just making sure that everyone did their jobs and stayed in their columns until we got to the green flag. Very big shout out to Mitchell Green for not going too quickly, because he would not have been part of the driver's briefing as to when to go, since he wasn't the pole sitter. So that was a very well controlled start from Mitchell Green.
Louis Flory, yesterday's winner, has dropped back a couple of places. Gabe Hrib has got up into P1, we think, ahead of Melissa Kozira. There is Kozira and Hrib on the right-hand side. So yeah, Hrib's through. And who else is there as well? It's so hard to read the numbers when they're speeding by as they do, but that's what we want them to do. So Mitchell Green with a bit of pressure from Jan Bernier. Bernier going with him now. Gary Ott has managed to gap a little bit ahead now of Roy Carroll, who sits in P4, coming over the crest. Bernier just shows one headlight in the mirrors of Mitchell Green.
For our top three, it's a rinse and repeat of yesterday's race. It's as if we just pressed pause at the end of 30 minutes, and now we're resuming it because it's the same trio going for the lead. As further back, they are dicing well beyond themselves as Lisa Clark has now split Melissa Kozira and Gabe Hrib. Melissa trying to come back and actually opening the door for Jeffrey Nürnberg, and then there's Lewis Flory.
Yeah, Nürnberg is in, isn't he, behind Kozira. So all kicking off further back in the pack. You're looking at Joe Sposato there, who was the back of the show qualifiers, coming out now at the end of that one. We've got lots of people, everybody at the minute looking like they've moved up a place, and that's because Viscup is tumbling down our timing screens. Pressure now on the run down to the first corner, trying to squeeze in, but through late on the brakes and past Nürnberg up the inside.
That was a brave move from Jeffrey, but he made it stick, and Kozira now finding herself under pressure from Lewis Flory. Made the fade over early to discourage Flory from going up the inside in the S's.
Green and Bernier on the inside of Green at the second element of the chicane, almost made it stick. Came in hot there over the curbs. Green holds on to the lead, but Bernier not letting him get away with it.
How did Bernier hang on to that car?
I'm not quite sure, yeah. It was a big handful of opposite lock in the middle of the chicane. Came in really hot. That was a great attempt by him. We know you need a lot of extra pace if you want to make the pass stick. And he had a good crack at it there. Not this time, though. But Bernier showing intent here. He's been on the podium at every round. He won't want to stop doing that. But he's obviously not happy to settle for second.
No, and that goes back to the thing we were talking about earlier. The grip is there on the racetrack once again, but the curbs might still be wet. Bernier got on the brakes as hard as he could. He was four wheels on the curb at the entrance to the bus stop. That means he would have had no stopping power going to his 296. And that was a very hairy moment when the tires then re-gripped up on the surface.
Bilacek here coming under pressure from Waltersdorf. Looking up the inside behind them is Lully, waiting to pick up the pieces if there's anything up for grabs, if these two make a mess of it. So Bilacek doing well so far to hold off Waltersdorf's attention, and Waltersdorf of course now has his mirrors full as well with Lully. We mentioned Lully earlier on, raced every single Ferrari Challenge car there has been right from the start. 30 years of racing in this series, great stuff.
Made sure that last year when it looked a little hairy for him to be able to continue racing because of a health situation, he got his start in before he had to sit for the rest of the season. But Mike Lully back again. Love seeing that yellow and red machine for the Canadian.
Fastest lap for Mitchell Green, 1:49.4, I think. Maybe not on that last lap, but let me check. We'll get another timing screen up here.
It was the last lap.
It was. And Ott's taking it off him. So Gary Ott's taking it off him straight away with a quicker lap.
Gary's pushing as Nürnberg up to second is also pushing in the AM category.
Lewis Flory here. Is that Kozira that he's got around?
I believe it is.
Yes, it is, yeah.
So our pole sitter is back down to P4 now in the category. That's all right. She's got time to make it back up. We're only 4.5 minutes into this race.
Gap at the front between Green and Bernier is 0.5. It's a further 0.5 back to Gary Ott. So Ott is very much in the mix. There's only 1.1 seconds across the top three. Lewis Flory running in P4. Where did Flory qualify today?
Second.
Second, yes. So he's still, he lost those places at the start and he's trying to make his way back up through.
And of course, Gary Ott is going to be helped by Jan Bernier and Mitchell Green battling back and forth. That slows them down, and then it opens the door for Gary to try and come back in. As Nürnberg has now gone for the pass around Lisa Clark around the outside
and
at the toe of the boot.
Too. Yeah, Flory's gone with him.
Bold move. They both made it stick.
So that puts Nürnberg and yeah, they're up into P2 and P3. So it's Hrib, Nürnberg, Flory. Flory, yesterday's winner, is making moves here, and he's showing intent as well to stick a move on Nürnberg if he can.
Hrib has put Sposato between himself and Nürnberg, though, so now there's a one-car buffer from a different category. This is going to be an issue, though, for Melissa Kozira. She needs to pass Lisa Clark as quickly as possible so she doesn't lose the back of Lewis Flory.
Absolutely. Just thinking there's a nice little battle going on between those two. Out through turn 11 now. Well, for lap number 3, so 3 completed, sorry. 24 minutes remaining, so half-hour race, remember. A little look up the inside. On in the background, that's a deep braking manoeuvre. Is that Nürburgring?
Yeah, he likes
is.
it. He likes making that deep on the brakes pass into turn 1.
Yeah, loses time on the exit, but it doesn't matter, does it? If you've got the pass done and they can't get past you back up through the S, it's Bernier looking good on the exit of bus stop here. Now right behind Mitchell Green as they come through turn 5 and down towards turn 6. So Bernier may be trying to line up a little pass. There's the downhill section after the bridge, which I think is at between 7 and 8. It's on the run to heel, isn't it? So he'll look to be as close as he can here. Goes early on the brakes and look into the inside line, but it's this next section where you need to be close as possible.
Mitchell Green was having a little bit of a hiccup at the start of the lap because he was 3/4 of a second clear of Bernier coming through the start-finish line after setting a lap time that was 0.2 better than Bernier's lap time the last time around. So clearly something's happened because that is not 3/4 of a second separating them anymore.
Bernier not close enough to have an attempt at it this time round. And now able to use all the parts of the track. Oh, it's a big old off. That's a huge off. It's Louis. It's Mike Luley. Mike Luley with a big crash in the background as well. There's damage. Is it Waltersdorf on the right-hand side?
Again.
So Waltersdorf and Luley, I'm pretty sure that's getting right. Well, it's definitely going to be a full course yellow, but it might be a red flag. So that's a big crash. Luley and Waltersdorf, we think the, well, Luley definitely. Waltersdorf in the background, we're pretty sure with the white and blue.
And
oh,
the
what a
FCY
shame.
is out.
Yeah, full course yellow. So the safety car goes out and everybody will have to follow in a train while we get this cleared up. We'll figure out what happened and see if we've got a replay of it for you shortly. We'll check the drivers are okay first.
Mitchell Green will be grateful to see the safety car out because it's taking time off the clock, but he won't be grateful to see how much closer Jan Bernier is in his rearview camera at this point. Gary Ott will also be grateful for an opportunity to take a couple of deep breaths, gather his thoughts, put everything back in order, brings Roy Carroll back into the fight as well. And then Jared Bilicek, who was turning decent lap times, set his personal best the last time around, actually. He'll be right back in this fight now, too.
And you can see on the left-hand side of your screen the two cars, the two yellow cars at the bottom, indicating they're in copper shell. That is Waltersdorf and Luley, so that is confirmation that it definitely was Waltersdorf, as we said. And dropping down through. Oh, there we go. So we'll be behind this, I reckon, for a good couple of laps. It'll, if they think it's going to take longer to clear up, then they might red flag it and take them off into pit road. But in the meantime, as you say, a little bit of a breather. It's a decent battle between them. Gary Ott was kind of with them and then dropped back a half second or so.
Gabe Hurrieb and Jeff Nunberg will be right together again. And Jeffrey Nunberg has been doing a very interesting move, as we were talking about, going into turn number 1. Both of those cars plus
up 7 places.
spot.
Yeah.
That's an incredible effort at the beginning. But as far as Jeff Nunberg is concerned, going into turn 1, it seems to be his preferred passing opportunity. And then he does park them at the apex, but he's perfected that art of parking them at the apex. We're now hearing that the safety car will come down onto the pit lane, bringing the cars that way. 20.5 minutes to go, and this is a time certain race, so hopefully we are able to get back to green flag racing as we will recover those two struck cars.
Yeah, it's sounding like it's likely they're going to bring them all into pit road. So, so I was just talking to race control. You may have said that yourself. So it's yeah, there we go. Oh dear.
Well,
and we were expecting carnage in the wet.
The trouble is, and as it so frequently occurs in series where you run multiple races on a weekend, the second race tends to be a little bit more chaotic than the first because the drivers have that in the back of their mind. I need to keep the car good
ready
for tomorrow.
For day 2, and then today the caution goes out the window. Funny enough, I was talking to Nina Jade last night. The first 3 race weekends, I'd said day 1 was meh, and then day 2 was really great racing, and that's what we've had so far this year. Indianapolis, it was really good both days. And just a lack of incidents, but yeah, say today. Our number one concern is that the drivers are okay.
Yep.
None of the rest of it matters. This is just racing cars, and as enthusiastic and serious as everybody is about it, everybody also knows that nothing matters more than the people.
No, it's the carbon-based life form behind the wheel that's the most important part of these vehicles out on the track, and that's ultimately it. We're here because we're all humans, and we all love a common cause.
Cars, yeah, racing, cars, motorsport.
And Ferraris.
Definitely. I just need a t-shirt that just says I like cars. Like, you know, that's pretty much okay.
Yeah.
So we're hearing Mike Luley is out of the car, so that's good news first of all.
Good. Red flag has now been thrown.
Okay, so the clock has stopped, and that means we'll have 19 minutes 14 remaining when we get the cars back out on circuit, but that will be after the recovery of these vehicles and the cleanup, which might take some time. We will see.
I'm very curious when we do get back to racing how Jeff Nunberg attempts the pass on Gabe Harib. Because knowing Jeff Nunberg, he's not just going to sit back and be happy for
looks like turn 1, doesn't it? To
Yes.
be honest, is where it looks like he'll have a go.
Turn 1, parking him at the apex,
Yeah.
perhaps if he's able to get around. But I'm wondering if maybe Jeffrey knows that his secret is out. We know what he does. Will he get creative and try it somewhere different? Is Gabe Harib particularly good at blocking attempted passes at turn 1?
I think the other thing is as well is have the spotters for the various teams seen where he's made the passes. So yeah, they're often looking at their own driver and focusing on their own data, their own onboards. And if they've been watching the feed, then Waltersdorf, thumbs up from Waltersdorf. That's the best news. So both of the drivers involved in the incident are okay. So yeah, that's good stuff. I'm sure they'll be taken off to the medical centre for checks. And at some point, as the drivers are okay, we might be able to take a look back at the incident. Yes, we are. So let's have a look back at what happened now, which has caused this red flag. So up over the crest, you can see Waltersdorf and Lilly just side-by-side contact. Oh, wow. Okay, that was pretty quick. So nobody's gone that hard in, and that if you're new to motorsport, that may sound crazy to you. Some good avoidance over on the left-hand side. Side-by-side contact, there's a lot of inertia in wheels and tyres, and if you get the contact rubber on rubber, the cars get launched. And on this occasion, they went left, and Waltersdorf got squeezed fully on the wall with Luley at the same time and launched upwards. But what I mean by no big impacts is there's no sudden stop. In motorsport, sometimes you'll see a spectacular roll and think, oh, that's awful. Actually, it's a lot less awful than a big sudden stop. So both those cars, unfortunately, that's heavy damage. That's not what you want at the end of a race weekend, but the drivers are okay.
No, and the best thing, again, as strange as it can sound, is when the cars come apart. It's all about dissipating the energy.
Absolutely.
So when there are bits and bobs flying off of the cars,
and bobs.
That's a good thing. It's crazy as it may seem, because that's the energy going through the car and it's not going through the driver. I really want to know what that white kitten's name is, as we get a shot of Andrew Parker's car, my possible second favorite livery this weekend.
You do like an ice cream, don't you? I know you and Amanda have been enjoying the ice cream. So
Yeah.
we might have time to enjoy an ice cream just now. We have a barrier repair to do out on circuit, so we're going to take a short break. Do stay with us. As soon as the action is back underway, we will be back underway as well. But say, most important of all, drivers are okay. The safety kit on these Ferrari 296 Challenge cars is absolutely top drawer, as you would expect from a manufacturer like Ferrari. We're looking forward to some great racing this afternoon. Stay with us. We're going to let the track team get their work done, and we'll be back with you as soon as we can.
So North American Racing Team was started in 1958 by Luigi Canetti. He took the initials NART, placed them on the car. The team basically was formed to help promote American drivers and bring them into the forefront of racing to a level maybe unachieved by any American racing team before. Well, today from the Oriana collection, we've brought 4 Ferraris that represent the NART mark. The earliest is a 1950 166 Barchetta. It was actually raced here at Watkins Glen, at the old circuit in 1950. Then we have a 1960 short wheelbase comp, 250 short wheelbase comp. That car was Canadi's import into North America, and that car also raced to 12 hours of Sebring. And we have a 275 GTB4 NART Spider. It's a special car when you think about cars in America, because Luigi Canetti had an idea to help promote the sales of the 275 the GTS. So he asked Enzo to produce Spiders in that 275 GTB configuration. And the car is special also because when it did come to the United States in 1967, it was immediately put on track, 12 hours of Sebring, where 2 lady drivers, Pinky Rollo and Denise McCluggage, raced the car and respectfully second place finish, which was amazing. They almost won their class. And then lastly, we brought the iconic 512M prototype from 1971, which also raced here at Watkins Glen in 1971 with Sam Posey finishing 6th in the Can-Am race and also in the FIA race. That car raced at Daytona, Sebring, Watkins Glen, and it also finished 3rd overall at the Le Mans race with Sam Posey driving, along with Tony Adamowicz. Well, to me, it's the ultimate. I mean, you see the emblem, the Scudetto. It means a lot. It actually, being Italian, to me, Ferrari is sort of the top level of the car and that you could possibly want to drive. It's definitely something that emotionally inside it's a passion for me to be involved with a Ferrari in any way, especially racing.
red cars are Ferraris.
La macchina da corsa per me è come un figlio.
I really like Daytona International Speedway. So of course the speed that we reach here in Daytona is something unique, and every time we do a lap here is special. The practice went quite well. The weather changed a lot since last week of testing. Now it's much more warmer, so actually it will be a surprise, the balance on the race, but honestly we're quite ready, and we will see what will going on. It will be so much happening on the race, and we really hope to be ready and be fast especially.
It's been 2 weeks of intense work for us, and I think we did an incredible job. The expectations for this race are really high, I have to say, because I think we have a good potential. So I hope we can do a good job. Car felt really good. We were hit from behind in full Rosiello, and so we had to recover one lap. And I think we have the car to do it, and we are pushing the maximum to recover this gap.
just really happy. This is the race that is the one that I was missing and that I really want to win. So I think today is one of the happiest days in my racing career.
Josh Lewis. I live here in Westport, Connecticut, and my day job is investing in financial companies. So I've always been drawn to the heritage of vintage cars, and that's something you can use and enjoy and look at the same time, and you know, and read about the history of it. Yeah, so Ferrari winning Daytona in 1967 and taking 1, 2, and 3, and then this model taking on that name, just speaks to me. I think it's a really interesting connection and inextricably links Ferrari and the United States forever. I love the new cars. I think they're so well refined, but you know, the old cars, it's just like a completely different category. You just get in it, it smells like gas. You just feel it, you know, you get in there, you live it, you feel it, it's all around you. I don't know, I just always loved the beauty of them. It's like rolling art.
You know, it's interesting, I get a lot of my inspiration from the cars, from Ferrari. I think that's where most of my inspiration comes from. My name is Steven Victor, I'm a music executive and I own a fashion brand. Why did I choose the Daytona SP3? I'd say I have great taste. That's how I describe it. I mean, the first time I saw the car, I just remember being in awe. And I said to myself, I'm gonna get this car somehow, some way. Like, I love all my Ferraris, but I think that's probably the most beautiful one thus far. When I'm driving the SP3, it gets all my creative juices flowing. And I think for me in my line of work, Like that's very important. So that's my go-to. Like some people go to paint, some people go, you know, do this or do that. I get an SP3. When I get to 9,000, maybe not.
What do I think of when I think of Ferrari?
I would say no compromise.
Enzo.
Like all different things come into my mind while I'm driving that car.
You think of the racing, you think of the factory and the craftsmanship.
Everything. I mean, I'll say this. I named one of my kids V12. So that should tell you how I feel about the V12 engine.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. The moment you have all been waiting for, isn't that right?
I'm Chad Williams, and I'm CEO of QTS. The problem with me is I never know what I'm saying, and I never say the same thing twice. Ferrari in America is the pursuit of excellence in motorsport and the opportunity to have this amazing motorsport and our beautiful roads in America come together. Being from Kansas City my whole life is a special treat. People are car enthusiasts in the Midwest. Kansas also has a winning tradition. So I think from Kansas, motorsport, winning, and the opportunity to bring family together, that's a description of Kansas, and that's why we love it here. I think about the Ferrari as an extension of our family. Our collection at Q Motorsport is about motorsport and racing. And so the 250 California was a special car. We have looked for one for years. Even though all the 250 Californias are beautiful, we had a very specific mission and purpose to try to find one that had a racing heritage. And so the one that we selected was the second California 250 that was built. One of the two cars that had the racing engine Type 128, and it raced in one of the famous races, Targa Florio. And so to take third in class and to have that motorsport history combined with the California's beauty, it was a winning combination. Well, the Cali T in Tour de France Blue was this amazing modern version of the California. So when you want to think about a car that just get in it and go anywhere you want to, put the top down and enjoy the engine and the performance, it's a modern day equivalent, and it's just an amazing car. When I drive my Ferrari, I feel free. I feel the excitement of the performance and the pursuit of excellence, whether it's in the material of the steering wheel or whether it's in the sound of the engine. And I think it's just an amazing feeling and opportunity.
So North American Racing Team was started in 1958 by Luigi Cannetti. He took the initials, NART, placed them on the car. The team basically was formed to help promote American drivers and bring them into the forefront of racing to a level maybe unachieved by any American racing team before. Well, today from the Oriana collection, we've brought 4 Ferraris that represent the NART mark. The earliest is a 1950 166 Barchetta. It was actually raced here at Watkins Glen at the old circuit in 1950. Then we have a 1960 short wheelbase comp, 250 short wheelbase comp. That car was Cannetti's import into North America, and that car also raced to 12 hours of Sebring. And we have a 275 GTB4 NART Spider. It's a special car when you think about cars in America, because Luigi Cannetti had an idea to help promote the sales of the 275, the GTS. So he asked Enzo to produce Spiders in that 275 GTB configuration. And the car is special also because when it did come to the United States in 1967, it was immediately put on track, 12 hours of Sebring, where 2 lady drivers, Pinky Rollo and Denise McCluggage, raced the car and respectfully second place finish, which was amazing. They almost won their class. And then lastly, we brought the iconic 512M prototype from 1971, which also raced here at Watkins Glen in 1971 with Sam Posey finishing 6th in the Can-Am race and also in the FIA race. That car raced at Daytona, Sebring, Watkins Glen, and it also finished 3rd overall at the Le Mans race with Sam Posey driving, along with Tony Adamowicz. Well, to me, it's the ultimate. When you see the emblem, the Scudetto, it means a lot. It actually, being Italian, to me, Ferrari is sort of the top level of a car and that you could possibly want to drive. It's definitely something that emotionally inside it's a passion for me to be involved with a Ferrari in any way, especially racing.
pairs of Ferraris.
La macchina da corsa per me è come un figlio.
Well, welcome back to Watkins Glen. Apologies for the delays. We had a shunt earlier on at the start of the Coppershell and Coppershell AM race. Both drivers were okay, but the Armco was not. The 296 Challenge car was too strong for the crash barrier. And to be fair, it all came off pretty badly, but the track team have been out. The Armco, if you're wondering, is that three-stripped barrier down the side of the road, and behind it are the posts which support it. Now, if those posts get broken, they have to be replaced because that's keeping the track up to its safety spec. So it's inspected by the racing authorities over here in the USA, and it must meet certain standards, as with all motor racing in all countries. So if the barrier gets damaged, it has to be repaired before we can go racing again. So that's what we've been up to. Well, not us personally. My name's Andrew Coley. Alongside me is Shay Adam. Nina Jade Paul is reporting from the paddock. Shay, let's be honest, we did not go and man an excavator and replace any posts, did we? Let's be honest now.
Andrew, then where did you go when you disappeared for 20
Well,
minutes?
I did head out there to help the marshals and everything. I know you were very lazy and just stayed here in the announcing booth.
Well, I had to watch out for the drivers, make sure that they were coming back to their cars. So
we're both lying.
Yeah.
I've eaten a bag of Doritos, which I was saving for the journey later, but we need the energy. And genuinely, that's actually something which these drivers are now going to have to muster, because you get full of adrenaline, you go racing, you stop and you go again. It's exhausting, and to have it's hot here today. They did get out of their cars and go and seek shelter, but it's not easy to get back into race mode.
Well, and in all sincerity, you talk about having a little bit of sustenance that drivers would have needed to as well, because if you don't, then you get back in the car, you've got no fuel to run off of.
Yeah.
So the drivers would have had, well, at a certain level you reach when you realize it pays to have a physio with you, a nutritionist, someone who can actually tell you, hey, you've got to put this in your body. And that's exactly what people on the top level of racing have. It's something we see in Ferrari Challenge as well. So we would hope that the nutritionist would have said, hey, here's a banana. Why don't you eat this? This will help you through.
So you're saying that my bag of Doritos was not suitable fuel? Other snacks were available, and they are delicious.
It was carbs. I fully support that.
Okay,
yes.
that's good. That's good.
Energy food.
We've been watching a bit of the Tour de France up here in the announcing booth in the break. We've seen the conclusion, of course, of the Formula One Grand Prix. No spoilers here in case you haven't watched it yet. But yeah, in Tour de France, they'll be fueling a lot for that. Let's be honest, that's physical. But I think a lot of people don't understand that driving so if you talk to someone who doesn't like motorsport, it's just driving a car. That's not how it works. It is very physical.
It is, and even though these races are only half an hour, you get drivers who come out of the cars looking like they've just swam across the English Channel. It is a real challenge to try and manhandle a Ferrari Challenge car, a 296. These are some of the nicest race cars that you could drive, though. You've got all of the creature comforts that you would hope for, and when these drivers would ultimately sink back into their custom form seats, it's a bit like putting on a pair of slippers again. It just feels right. The clock is now halfway through this race, 15 minutes to go as we continue to circulate behind the safety car, getting the heat back into the tires, getting the drivers back into the right mindset before we go back to green.
Yeah, I would say that's a good move by race control, isn't it? The lights are still on. When the lights go off on the safety car, it means it's pulling in and we'll be back underway. But I think setting the clock off, say there's a bit of fatigue out there, but also everybody were around an hour behind schedule. And a lot of these drivers and teams will be ready to move on to whatever the next thing is, whether that's the next race circuit or the next business deal. So we're getting things cracking, and it gets the drivers up to speed too. When they've been sitting there for an hour, you don't forget how to do it, of course, but you were fully in the zone, and now you're not. And as you say, it's not just temperatures in tyres and brakes, it's getting those brains up to speed as well.
Love these drone shots that we are getting today. What a beautiful circuit. As it looks like the lights are actually out on the safety car. Now they do turn them out on the run up from the toe to the heel of the booth. That's where race control makes the decision. So that means that the field will be in the control of Mitchell Green. He'll have to fend off Jan Bernier and Gary Ott, and I guarantee you Gary Ott has spent at least the last half an hour thinking, how can I get to the lead like the two guys ahead of me did yesterday in race number 1.
I'm excited to, you can see he's already showing half a car to Bernier, but excited to see who's up for making a move, because some people will be asleep, and not asleep, you know what I mean? Some people are not going to be as switched on as some of the others are. They're coming up now. This field is streaming up towards, and now we go racing again. Mitchell Green gets us underway with 13 minutes 23 remaining. He leads from Jan Bernier. Bernier is close on the run down the hill. Roy Carroll is right in behind Gary Ott. Behind that, that's Parker making a move on Bilacek. Slides up the inside, nicely done. And that's what I mean about taking advantage. Go now, strike while you are feeling hot and the others are not quite on it. Look at that, Green and Bernier checking out already out front.
They are, and it's not as if Gary Ott was sleeping either. He just wasn't able to take as full advantage as Mike Chen is going to be getting in between the battle of Gabe Harib and our favorite passer at turn number 1. That would be Jeffrey Nunberg. Jeffrey made some brilliant moves before we went to our red flag. He's now looking to try and pass Harib in a different position of the track.
Dust kicking up at the exit of the bus stop. Harib had a look up the inside of Chen, but decided against it. And Nunberg, as you say, is right there. Lewis Flory, I think, is there too. So Sposato has gone backwards somewhere because Sposato was in between them. And Flory is, Sposato's gone one place back. So Sposato now coming under pressure from Melissa Kozira in the blue and white striped car. You can see through. Another car off. The 117 is...
That's Jeffrey Keel.
It is Jeffrey Keel. So, Jeffrey Keel has been at 2 races this season. Is he safely out of range, do you think?
He is. He's at the runoff at the beginning of the carousel. Looks like maybe he had an incident coming into the bus stop and caught the left-hand side of his car. But at our Copachel AM battle right now for the lead, 1, 2, 3 cars, line of stern, they are going for it. Gabe Harib, Jeffrey Nunberg, and our pole sitter from yesterday, that would be Lewis Flory.
Harib needs to find a way through on the car in front, which, as we mentioned already, is Chen, who is in the category above. But quite often the front runners of the category below are equal to or quicker than the tail enders from the category above. And that's taking nothing away. The drivers will be moved up and down categories as he's seen fit. We're at 61% race distance according to our clocks here, and 11 minutes 26 remaining. Come on, Gabe, have a look. So Gabe Harib was all smiles when I saw him on Friday in hospitality. Looks up the inside into turn 1. Decisive move by Gabe Harib, and Nunberg goes with him. Nunberg's done really well, gets up the inside of Harib. Harib runs deep. Nunberg passes both cars to take the lead in the category. Fantastic move by him.
Again, turn 1 for Jeffrey Nunberg. We're going to have to rename the corner after him, as that is his 4th pass at that corner. Very decisive, got not 1 but 2 cars and the class lead.
Watch for Flory as well now. Flory coming up behind Chen will look for a way through up at the bus stop. People cutting the curb big time. He does look inside in the background, but he hasn't made it through this time. Carries good speed through. We're talking about the white and blue car at the back of your shot there. Trying to go through with the 2 class leaders, Gabe Harib and Jeffrey Nunberg. So what a move there by Nunberg to take the lead.
And Jeffrey looks like he is ready to race. He's already catching up to the back of Joel Rose and Brad Evans. They're having their own battle for 7th in the Copa Shell class. Jeff Nunberg doesn't care who he's passing. He just wants to keep passing cars.
You'd have to say, wouldn't you, that Nunberg and Harib are looking highly likely to get moved up a class next year, which is great. That's the progression we want to see.
You would assume so if they continue on well in the championship. Of course, the speed being demonstrated at this track might not be representative of what they do all year long, but Gabe Harib, championship leader coming into today's race. Jeffrey Nunberg was 4th in points when the weekend began. He slipped a little bit further back yesterday with Lewis Flory having such a great day, but he is looking for revenge today, and Jeffrey Nunberg is definitely the car to beat in the Copa Shell AM class.
He's raced really well this year, Nunberg, for me. So he's had 3 podiums, the one of which was the win. Didn't start the second race at Indy, so that cost him some points. But it's the consistency of Gabe Harib. Gabe's only had the 1 win, but has been on the podium at every single race except for Watkins yesterday in Indy's first race as well. So going really well. Nunberg up past Rose as they cross over the start-finish line. There it is.
Clear past
Absolute
Evans
flying.
too.
Yeah, wow, yeah, he's up another position. So he's P7 overall, isn't he?
Yeah, and he's looking at the back of Jared Bilicek already. Andrew Parker not too much further up the road. Jeffrey Nunberg is having the race of his life.
Bit between his teeth, isn't he? He's absolutely flying.
This is fantastic to see from a man who's been in this series for a couple of years now. Truly climbed the ladder. The Ferrari of Central New Jersey driver began with the Club Challenge. He ran here on the weekends, not doing the competitive thing, just setting lap times.
And he's going to try and avoid it. Nunberg just avoids the contact. Wow, Nunberg how did he get around that? That is a brilliant piece of driving. The rear tyre is down on the 133, which is Parker. Parker spam at the exit. I was watching Nunberg's speed through the bus stop was incredible. He was so much quicker than the cars in front of him. So you've got Bilicek here. Watch at the front. This is the spin for Parker, just bottom right of your screen.
Parker's already gone.
Bilicek goes to the outside. Nunberg is on the anchors and gets inside. Almost rotation in the background here as well. Who's this?
That was Evans, Brad Evans.
Brad Evans done a brilliant job to hang on to that car. And Nürnberg has come out of that unscathed, and I do not know how. Wow.
I said it in qualifying that we had a driver who needed to go buy a lottery ticket. I'm taking it back. Jeffrey Nürnberg is the driver who needs to go buy a lottery ticket, because what a lucky escape there. His vision of a perfect race went up before his eyes.
Grip's gone with him, like in the background. So if you look at Flori's back 3 cars, so Evans, who did such a great job to save it, Bilecek did a good job avoiding it, Evans is the driver who spun, so it's Rose in the yellow car, and then Flory behind that.
Harib didn't need to get checked up for the incident, as Danny Patel is off the road at the apex of turn 9. He was having such an impressive qualifying earlier on.
Mirror's not missing or anything, so it doesn't look like he's been off. There in the background, dropping down the order is Parker with the ice cream livery, I think it is, on his car, and that tyre off. So did he lose the tyre on the curbs? That's obviously what's caused the spin. Teams are given recommended tyre pressures by Pirelli, which is what they should meet. Obviously play with that a bit because you want to try and get maximum performance from the tyre, as we see again here, pressure occurring. Kozira trying to find a way through on the inside.
She's been hounded by Michael Owens, the man who's second in the championship for Copa Shell AM. And does he get through? No.
Melissa doesn't either. I thought Melissa was going to try and get the move done. Now she's got Owens on the outside of her. Owens trying to come the long way around here. Kozira holding the inside line.
It's a brave move by Owens. He decides not to attempt it there. Save your machinery for the next corner, then maybe have a look. Kozira driving very defensively, but very smartly as well.
Oh, she's doing brilliantly. I really do. Been so impressed this weekend. Actually, this whole season, just feel like it's just little bits of progress. She looks inside Chen now, but can't find a way through.
She's driving perfect because she's not allowing Owens an opportunity to even get a thought of where to pass her. Very, very good driving. Just want to go back to that moment for Gabe Harib. I don't think he slowed down at all with the spinning car. I thought he was the one who took the best advantage of the chaos in front.
Further back, wasn't he? That just gives you more time to see what's going on and adjust your line, whereas Nürnberg had to adjust on the fly. I was convinced he was going to pick up Parker. I think that's a fantastic piece of control by him and Evans. I really do. To adjust your line that late, don't forget the car's already unsettled. You come through 2 elements of the chicane, down from 110 to around 95 miles an hour. Somebody drops in front of you. Bilecek is in front of them, so then you're unsighted. Brilliant job. Lucky we didn't get another red flag.
Yes, the battle at the head of the field, by the way, is not over either. Mitchell Green had more than a 2-second lead earlier on as Lucas Flory is looking down the inside of Jeffrey Keel. That was not for, sorry, not Jeffrey Keel.
Justin Rose.
It was, Rose. But that was a position on the track, not a class position. Our gap at the front of the field was more than 2 seconds 2 laps ago. Jan Bernier has closed that down to 1.6. So Jan has not given it up yet either. He's looking to try and get a win.
So yeah, Gary Ott's dropped a few seconds off the back. Flory looks to the inside line, and I don't think Rose knew he was there, to be honest. So Flory was almost inside. Did well to back out of it. I reckon that will have got him all fired up, and he'll be looking to dispose of that position as quickly as he possibly can. In the meantime, Owens has managed to get past Kozira there. You can see Owens with the green and red stripes on the front, Kozira with the white, blue and black livery in the background. 4 minutes 40 remaining. And this part of the race has been absolutely brilliant. This is the best race we've seen all weekend for me.
Absolutely it is. And why was that pass important? Because Michael Owens is second in points and moving up to 4th. That's more points than where he was back in 5th. When we get to the end of the championship, that pass could make the difference between him winning it or finishing 2nd.
Every single point counts, doesn't it? They've got to gather them all up. Melissa looks to go back up the inside, but not this time round. Owens holds her off. This is your leader of the race overall, Mitchell Green, leading Copper Shell. How far back is Bernier? 1.5. So he's the gap stayed the same.
But look who just set a personal best lap time. That would be 3rd place. Gary Ott is fired up, and he is charging back on Jan Bernier, less than a second.
Bernier, I saw a twitch on the exit. Did he hit the wall there? There was a noise. It looked like a twitch as he came through the corner.
His mirror's still on.
It's at an angle though. Bernier's hit the wall. I'm sure he's hit the wall. There was a twitch mid-corner. The right mirror's not on the car properly. Surely, is it? You heard the noise too?
I heard the noise.
It looked like mid-corner, he just had a slight moment. I don't know if we can get a replay of it or not. The guys might be... Yeah, the mirror's off. I think he's hit the wall, in which case Gary Ott could be on to take this position. We will watch yet. Look, the glass is gone. Ott's all over him. So Gary Ott in the background. Jan Bernier with a mistake towards the end of the race. Just a tiny twitch mid-corner. Clattered the barrier at what would be, 130, 140 miles an hour. And Ott knows here that he's going to pick up a piece if he can. 3 minutes remaining. Bernier's got to survive here. Remember, Jan Bernier has been on the podium at every single race this year. He's got a gap behind him of some 11 seconds back to Roy Carroll. So he can hold on, but he's got to do at least another 2 laps with a wounded car.
Well, and the thing is, he knows he made a mistake. So Jan Bernier is going to have that in the back of his mind right now. No point in jeopardizing that podium streak. Let Gary Ott through, or do you? Because as we were just talking about, every point makes a difference. Second to third, that's a big points drop off.
Oh, he's run wide again. So Bernier's run wide. Ott is all over him in the mirrors. It's only a tiny mistake. He seems to have got away with it. 296 is a strong piece of kit. And he's managing at the moment to continue to circulate with 2 minutes 24 remaining. That means another 2 laps, doesn't it?
Yes, it does.
So this is where he made the mistake. Ott is late on the brakes. You can see the car squirming around. It was at the top of the S's. So let's see if Bernier is any more cautious through here. It was in this next corner coming up at the top of the hill. He turned in here. There was a slight twitch, and he clattered the barrier just on the outside there. By the tiniest of margins, but it was enough.
Carried great speed through the S's this time, did Jan Bernier?
No problem, yeah. No problem at all. Nothing psychological there, is there?
No, and now that we're watching him, and he probably knows that we're watching him because he knows he made a mistake the last time through, and he knows that our camera operators are some of the best in the biz, and we would have picked that up. He is driving inch perfect. Meanwhile...
1:30, yeah, remaining out front. What's the gap now? 2.2. So I would say there's, other than the mirror, and then, yeah, I'll tell you, yeah, you track that car up, something's going to be out by a couple of degrees, but it's obviously not terrible because Mitchell Green is not driving away. Ott has got back to Bernier while Bernier has recovered from the moment.
And meanwhile, in Shell Am, we check on those leaders. Jeffrey Nunberg is continuing out front, but setting the fastest lap of the race in category. Gabe Harib, he is hunting, and he is a second off, less than a second off now of the car ahead of him. So the battle for the Shell Am first place, well and truly alive, as there we go. You could almost cover those two with the blanket.
Yeah, they've managed to, well, I mean, we know that Flory was making his way through traffic, didn't we? And in the background had been, who was it? It was Rose, wasn't it, that Flory got chopped off by. So Flory's actually got past Rose and Billercheck while we've been watching the battle up at the front as well. So Lewis Flory is up into P3, which is another good result. Was the winner yesterday.
And he too is doing his own personal best lap time. So Flory is still pushing hard, but nobody is pushing harder right now than Gabe Harib.
Flashing headlights from Harib as well. Just dip the lights off and back on again, just to let Nunberg know that it's not quite over yet, but they are on their final lap, or the leaders are on their final lap at least. I think these guys are coming onto the final lap now. Yes, they are.
Pressure is on as Mitchell Green is safe out front with 3 seconds gap over the battling pair of Jan Bernier and Gary Ott, and taking the white flag is Jeffrey Nunberg. Gabe Harib, though, he's not happy to just let Nunberg have it.
So watch for Gary Ott here. For me, he's the only person who can make a difference to the position in the podiums at the moment. Harib is just a little way off the back of Nunberg. He's only a second. To be fair, so now is Gary Ott. I think Bernier's done well to gap him out just a little bit as they came over the line. Yeah, no, it was only 0.3 as they came over the line. So that sector where Bernier had the issue, he's taken another few tenths out of Ott, and Ott is now coming back at him in the twisty stuff. Maybe, just maybe, there is something out of alignment on Bernier's car.
We're going to need a shot of that over in the podiums from Orbaugh, because I think it is Orbaugh at the podium. Just the right front of the car from Jan Bernier, number 132, please, just to let us know exactly how much blue paint is missing from the front of the car.
Yeah, I want to see a shot of the Armco. That's where the blue paint will be, isn't it?
Exactly.
It's probably a wrap knowing race cars these days, isn't it? But Mitchell Green out front doing a fantastic job here. Bernier has had a little bit of a get-out-of-jail-free card, I would say, with this one. He was second yesterday. The pole went to Gary Ott yesterday. He ended up third. So we're going to be looking at the podium, the exact same podium in the exact same order at the moment, and Scariot can do something in this last corner, which he cannot. So it's a second win of the weekend for Mitchell Green. It's his 4th win of the year, double wins at Sonoma and double wins at Watkins Glen. Right behind over the line, Scariot could not have been closer to Jan Bernier, separated by 0.3 of a second. Bernier maintains that record of being on the podium, same podium as yesterday, despite touching the wall at what we reckon would have been at least 120, maybe more miles an hour. You are looking at the leader of Coppershell Am coming around the final corner. Jeffrey Nunberg going to take the checker flag with a brilliant drive from 4th on the grid, making some fantastic passes, particularly in turn 1. 2 up the inside on the way in, 1 up the inside on the way out, and that was on Gabe Hibb, who takes P2. Lewis Flory crosses the line in P8 overall, but in P3, so he will be on the podium for the 2nd day in a row as well. That was a great race once we got it back underway.
It really was, and congratulations also goes out to Melissa Kozira, the best of our ladies competitors in the Coppershell AM class. She will take that trophy, and who is it? It's Lance Cawley, who is the gentleman's trophy winner in the Coppershell AM class. They come across the line side by side for the checkered flag. That was further down in the running. That was Petramalo, and who else was it? Vartugian, I think it was. I think that was Ed. They were fighting tooth and nail for 17th and 18th.
4 thousandths of a second. It went the way of Vartugian by 4 thousandths of a second. Wow. Or was it the driver in front? Was it Vartugian and Petramolo?
Yes, Vartugian and Petramolo.
Yeah, so it was 4 thousandths of a second. Vartugian holds on to P18 ahead of P19. Super close. So wind down that for these guys. I suspect we'll be getting things pretty quickly turned around for Pirelli. They did have a start time, a provisional start time published, but we're not going to go with that just yet because I think this is earlier than they thought it would be. So let's see if they bring the start of that one forward. Either way, great racing here. Say, brilliant job by Mitchell Green for the double win here. It's about closing the points gap down. He could have done with, as he said yesterday, I need Gary in between me and Jan, and that's because he wants Gary to take points away. He nearly got that. Still hoping we might be able to take a look at Bernier's moment at some point as well. Mitchell Green with the win by 2.5 seconds. Gary Ott just 0.4 behind Bernier, who was in P2. Then Carroll got 4th. Jeffrey Nunberg in P5 overall as the winner of Coppershell Am. That is a fantastic performance with Gabriel right behind them, Brad Evans and Lewis Flory. So the top 3 from both categories in the top 8. Brilliant. Bilacek 9th, Rose is 10th. We've then got Mike Chen, Michael Owens, Melissa Kozira in P13, Joe Spasato, Lance Cooley, Lisa Clark, Henry Hummel, Ed Vartugian, Tom Petramolo, say 4 thousandths of a second down there. Helen Chu, Ramchada, Danny Patel, Andrew Parker, Jeffrey Gill, Brian Waltersdorf. These are the DNFs now. Mike Luley, that was the shunt at the start. This Cup, unfortunately, the pole sitter retired in the pre-grid area. What a shame.
And for my money, Mitchell Green won this race, lap 1, turn 1. By just doing exactly what he needed to on the start of the race. It was a difficult start of the race because the pole man did not take the green flag. Mitchell Green did not overreact to knowing when the green flag was going to be coming out. He did exactly what he needed. He was calm and he let Jan Bernier do his own thing, went through, just checked out.
Really pleased, isn't he? You see just the one hand out through the little side window, tapping on the screen. Very pleased, and I would be too. They return back into the paddock area. It looks like they're driving off out the circuit, doesn't it? You know, through one of the spectator areas, but they're not. I can assure you it's a road back to the paddock. Look back past some of the rescue vehicles.
Going to
down towards Parc Ferme, outside Casa Ferrari. I'm glad they know the way. You gave me some lovely directions on the first day, Shay, to get to the announcing booth. Yeah, just over there, under through the tunnels. Oh yeah, nice one. I ended up at least 2 dead ends before I got to the one which was the right under us. And I'm not having to go at Shay here for the directions. I'm sure the directions were great. I sucked. I really did at getting the car there. That's why I was a rally driver and I had a co-driver. You see, I need somebody in the car telling me where to go.
So that's why Nina Jade has been riding.
Yeah, that's basically Nina Jade's job is co-driving for me. Yeah.
That makes so much sense.
Exactly.
Well, I'm pleased to bits for Jeffrey Nunberg, who honestly earned the race win today by passing anything. If it wasn't chained down to the side of the circuit, he was going to have a go for it.
Yeah. It's a second win for Nunberg this season after round 1 at the start of the year. Great job.
I think it's his 3rd career win too for Jeffrey. as I said before, Ferrari of Central New Jersey, near and dear to his heart.
Look at Bernier's mirror completely missing from the top, the side skirt as well, potentially with a little bit of damage on it. I really think he got away with that. I think he'd be getting out of the car and wondering how much damage is down that side with the speed he hit at. But there was nothing wrong. Mitchell Green very pleased indeed with the second win. He's going to get on the roof again. Go on, Mitchell, get on that roof. Let's go.
A sigh of relief.
With the big gap as well in the race, as you said, just keep your head. Do the same job again. Jan Bernier the first to congratulate him.
That's what we love to see.
Look at Bernier. Look at Bernier. Straight look, checking the wing end plate. He's looking at the mirror. He's okay, it's good. I'm not going to need as much from the parts truck as I thought. You know, it's just a wing mirror casing, a wing mirror glass, and we're golden.
Yep. And also trying to do the subtle thing of, I really want to look at my car, but I don't want to draw attention to it in case someone's watching.
Yeah. Okay, let's take a look at the standings then after race number 10. That's the second of our races here at round 5 of Ferrari Challenge North America. Jan Bernier leads, but the gap is down to 11 points thanks to a double win here for Mitchell Green. I think he got the fastest lap in that as well as yesterday. Did he get the fastest lap? I'm pretty sure he did. Yes, he did. So didn't have pole on either day, though, so he's managed to steal a couple of extra points. Gary Ott is third in the standings. There's a little bit of a gap there. You can see Brad Evans fourth, Brian Waltersdorf, Chuck Whittle, Roy Carroll. Whittle moves up 4 places. Look, Bilacek is in P8. Guy Earl, Senior Clark, Lennon, Viscup, Park and Chen make up your drivers down to P15 overall. And then it's Mike Luley, Naranjo, Spasato, Rose, Chen, Pineda and Brent Holden, P22 there. Gap's much bigger here, and that's because some of these drivers, of course, haven't taken part in every race this year. So there is the holding area down in front of the podium where we've got the top 3 cars from both of the categories. We're missing one, look. We're missing P...
Yeah, P3 from our
we're missing
Copichal
P1,
Am.
I think. Well, it doesn't matter. Let's go down to Nina Jade. She's with double winner this weekend, the specialist on the roller coaster surrounded by green trees, tracks, Mitchell Green.
And of course, the classic celebration. You got on your car, you jumped around, and you celebrate. Congratulations. So a double win this weekend. Were you nervous on the restart with Jan Bernier in your mirrors?
No, I needed the tires too. He sent it on me, but I shut the door on him into the bus stop the first time. But I was having trouble getting the tires warmed up. But we were able to get them. They ran the pace car fast. Todd let us do 2 laps, so it was good.
You said to me yesterday, Mitchell, you'll tell me your plan today.
He's a crazy man, because he was flat. You know, he led into the wall into 3 and drove out of it. Yeah, that's true.
Mitchell, what was your plan for this weekend? Because clearly you executed it and it worked.
I got to keep up with him. So, we're going to bring it down to the final race, hopefully in Mugello.
Congratulations.
Thank you so much.
Great stuff. Mitchell Green closing down that championship gap. Well aware of the fact, as we say, that there are 2 races to go in Laguna Seca and then 2 races to go in Mugello as well. He's obviously aware of the fact that Bernier tapped the wall, and he'll like the fact that he applied enough pressure to make that happen. Bernier with that a brilliant attempt early in the race to make the pass. That's Casa Ferrari.
Best part is, while they're waiting for the podium celebration in about 45 minutes time,
They can't get a snack.
They could go have gelato.
They could indeed. Jeffrey Nürnberg's with Nina Jade Paul.
I am with Jeffrey Nürnberg, and you worked for that today. What a race by you. How was that? Talk us through your emotions.
It was a blast, first of all. I've never had more fun racing. I mean, it was just incredible today. We had a big delay in the middle, but the start of the race was great, and then the restart was great, and just a lot of great passing and great sportsmanship out there.
Overall, I'm hearing it was a great performance, Jeffrey. Now, talk us through the restart. What goes through your head? How do you stay in a rhythm with an hour-long break?
You know, I was just relaxed. I wasn't really anxious or anything. And then when I got back in the car, I just did a lot of clapping to get my blood going and my blood pressure up. I guess my heart rate up, and just get going. And then I'm thinking, okay, he's in front of me. That's first place. How am I going to pass him on the restart? He helped me a little bit. He outbraked himself, so I was able to pass on the inside. So it was good.
What a great race, Jeffrey. Congratulations again.
Good to see you back. It's awesome. Take care.
Oh, how kind. Isn't that lovely? That's really, really lovely to say that to Nina Jade. Jeffrey Nürnberg with a brilliant drive. say, two great passes up the inside in turn one, and then the third one on the exit of that corner. So Gabe Hrib continues to lead by 16 points from Michael Owens. Lewis Flory is in P3. Nürnberg, look, he's only 3 points behind Lewis Flory. So there is a bit of a battle there now for that position in the standings. Melissa Kozira, P5, Lance Corley, Henry Hummel, and Fabian Sperman are your top 8, but it's really all of the action is right up at the top of that table. Vartugian, Czech, Herfield, Chu, Kiel, and Lin takes down to P15 in Shalem. I'm sure we've got some more in there somewhere. There we are. Danny Patel, Alberto Duran, Tom Petromolo, David Williams, Ramchada, Bernard Gomez, and Darren Bernstein. Goodwin, Bayliss, Heggie, DiCarlo, and DeLosses take us down to the back of the pack.
We have a genuine four-way battle for this championship.
Going to be fun. Right, let's get ourselves ready for the Trofeo Pirelli encounter, which will be coming up very shortly indeed. So stay with us. My thanks to Shay Adam, Nina Jade Paul. I'm Andrew Coley. Stay with us. One more race to come from Watkins Glen International. Welcome back to Watkins Glen. We're getting ourselves ready for the final race of the weekend. This is Trofeo Pirelli, and Trofeo Pirelli am somewhat delayed because we had a crash, if you're only just joining us, in the Copper Shell race. Drivers were okay. Thankfully, the barrier was not. We've got it all repaired. We finished off their race with some great racing, and we're looking forward to a bit more to wrap up our weekend here in upstate New York. Sonoma was where we started, over in Cali, then down to Florida for Daytona and Miami, Indianapolis, Watkins Glen, Laguna Seca, and then Mugello for the Finale Mondiale in October. Pow, 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 what a season. It's been good fun so far. My name's Andrew Cody. Shay Adams joins me up in the announcing booth. Nina Jade Paul is reporting from pit lane and the paddock. This is the challenge for the drivers. We did say, Shay, we could have just cut off the boot, and done the NASCAR cut through and not worried about repairing the barrier, but that might have been a little bit unfair on the drivers.
Yeah, and then the records books would have been all wonky. And this track, 3.4 miles with 11 turns. We've got the uphill S's, the bus stop, the boot, the toe, the heel, and the laces all going on with that. The carousel, which is at the exit of the bus stop. This is a track that people have been coming to race on for more than 60 years. Actually, pretty close to 70 now at this point. Before that, they raced through the town of Watkins Glen. So racing runs deep through the veins of this part of the world. And we are ready to get our final race of the weekend underway for Trofeo Pirelli. The grid set in drying conditions for both of the categories, but it was wet Pirellis for the AM cars, slicks for the pro cars.
Yeah, it was indeed. So a little bit of mix-ups on the grid. I think the usual suspects are pretty much in the positions we would expect. They're heading down now and lining themselves up in the grid area, and down there with them is Nina Jade Paul.
Absolutely. I know these Pirelli guys are egging to get going. They're very much looking forward to it. I mean, after that hour break, like you said, Andrew, that race was mega. So hopefully we'll have more of the same from the Pirelli guys. I know I spoke to a couple of them. They're a bit worried about tyres, but it should all be okay. If you listen to Mitchell Green's interview just then, he did struggle with his tyres. And I must say, it is sweltering down here. You can probably see it's very, very warm. But the Pirelli guys are anxious to get going, as am I. I promise you we don't have long to wait.
Look great, Nina Jade. Don't worry about it. Even in the hot, hot heat, you're looking, everything's fine. Don't worry. Nobody can see the sweat. We'll get you an umbrella. She needed a coat in the rain. Now we need an umbrella. But yeah, we're fine up here in the air-conditioned booth. Thanks, Nina Jade.
There's an umbrella, keeping Dylan Medler cool. He won't be needing it while the race is going on. Just go nick that, Nina Jade. You'll be fine.
Yeah, that's a good point. Take his umbrella.
Dylan Medler starting P2 for today's race alongside his championship rival, Massimo Perena, who once again claimed pole position, meaning that in his entire racing career, Massimo has not won pole twice. Remarkable record for that young man.
It's also a remarkable record, isn't it, that of those poles this year, he's had 8 out of the 10 with the poles. He 5 times has had the win and the fastest lap. So he'll be looking to do the same again today. That would then be 6 pole win fastest laps, which is a clean sweep of the day, but in this case it will be a clean sweep of the weekend, which he did manage in Indy as well. So can he do the same here? That would be total dominance if he can pull it off. You're looking at Roberto Perena, who is in behind his nephew, Massimo. Said how much he'd enjoyed a podium, didn't he, with his nephew, and I'm sure we'll be looking to try and do the same again. We are missing Johnny Kaminsky this weekend. Johnny, I know he's here working with the team, so great to have you along with us, mate, but I'd rather see him in the car.
Yeah, I fully agree. Johnny Kaminsky, the driver that we'll be talking about for many years to come, very impressive. I wouldn't be surprised if he's holding an umbrella for one of his teammates.
Yeah, probably. He's a good lad.
They've made him do every single job that you could imagine, and it's something that his dad, Brian, really promotes. He wants his sons to get an appreciation for life and beyond getting to drive an amazing 296 race car. Johnny this weekend has done things like man the fire bottle for refueling for some of his teammates. He's had to help set up the truck and the tent and do all the grunt work. It's good to learn those kinds of things.
Yeah, you need to know what goes into running the race car, don't you? It's not all glory, I'm afraid. It's definitely not all glory. Lots of people start off making the coffee and washing the race rims, and don't be afraid of getting yourself into a career in motorsport. You don't have to go and get yourself a degree in engineering. Some people do, but likewise there are ways into lots of these race teams. You just got to get yourself connected with the sport, get down there, and you might find yourself in the paddock having a brilliant experience along with us. We're very, very grateful for it. Ethan McWilliams
trying to keep cool.
Yeah, silver foil over the front of the car.
few marks on his car.
Yeah,
Battle
across the rear
scars.
quarter there, you can see, can't you? Maybe that's the champion's wall again.
Yeah, exactly. And then there's this car, 5T. It's Michael Mathis. Yesterday, this car became a race winner. It was a loaner from Jeffrey Nunberg, who we just saw take his car to victory
If I were
lane.
Jeffrey Nunberg, you know what I'd be thinking? I'd be thinking, oh no, you know what? I want a new car for next year. So I'd be selling my 2 cars as winners, because when you sell a car and you go, well, you know, last time I used it, it won, and I'd lent one to my mate and he won as well. So yeah, people will buy those cars. You want a race-winning car, you know. So I'd be doing that, and I'd be getting myself a new 296 for next year, which I'm sure the senior management of Ferrari USA would approve of as well.
Especially for a partner of the Ferrari of Central New Jersey dealership.
Yes.
He would be one to
Very
be
popular.
good to find it. But yeah, it's something extra special when a car has won, it's been to victory lane.
It is, genuinely is, isn't it?
Yeah, you can still smell the champagne in the car,
Yeah,
which might not be true, but you know.
But that's what you say.
It's what you
on
advertise.
the sales pitch.
Exactly.
Yeah, exactly.
So who's going to add that provenance to their car today? Well, we've got a full grid of cars waiting to go. 26 of them were set to take the green flag for today's second race of the weekend. And we should be getting ready to get things started out. But before we can get things started, we got to tell the drivers to fire the engines.
For the last time this weekend, drivers, start your Ferrari engines.
Here we go then. Perina on the pole. Can he convert 8th pole into, what would it be? Win number, quickly count them up, Andrew. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, I think it would be, yes, win number 6. He did take the win, of course, it would have been win number 7. He took the win at Sonoma, but across the line at the start-finish on the rolling start and was given a penalty for that. So it would have been a 7th win. And that would have been the fastest lap as well. So, yeah, it would have been even more record-breaking. This could be a record-breaking season within Ferrari Challenge North America with the results that Perina is getting.
Last year, Massimo ran in the 488 class in Trofeo Pirelli. He won every race except for one. He set every fast lap except for one, and he took every pole position. So Massimo is used to breaking records. He is used to being at the front of a championship. But right now, he has a lot of competition and a lot of very fast cars rolling off around him.
I'm really interested to see where he goes next, but he won't be focusing on next yet. He's going to be focusing instead on what he's got to do today to get the job done and take the win, round out what would be a perfect weekend. I'm sure he'd like the fastest lap too, but the win is going to be the one that he's looking for. It's the final race of weekend number 5 of Ferrari Challenge North America. We're looking at Trofeo Pirelli race number 2. On the front row, Massimo Perina looking for a perfect weekend. Dylan Medler looking to deny him that alongside. Behind is Perina's uncle, Roberto Perina and Tony Davis on the outside. Then we have got on the inside line Jason McCarthy. On the outside line is Ethan McWilliams on to row 4. Inside line, Brian Cook, Dave Musial Jr. on the outside. And then it's Gray Falvera and Michael Porter. Porter the pole man in Pirelli Am. Michael Mathez, Ray Acosta. Mathez the winner yesterday in the car borrowed from Nürburgring. Brad Falvera, Gregory Hopkins on row number 7. Row 8, Robert McWilliams and Matthew DL. Gerda Svenstavas and Dave Musial make up row number 9. Ophir Levy and Martin Burrows are row 10. Row 11 is Benoit Bergeron and Dan Magnazuski. Row 12 is Jay Logan and Sebastian Mascaro. Sebastian has got a P2 from this grid position before. He's a long way back. What can he do? Bruce Cleveland and Kevin Gutierrez round out the back of the grid on row 13.
And this is Jason McCarthy because he did not roll out where he should have in his grid position from row number 3. He had a tire issue on the grid. They did change his tire, but he's going to have to start from the back of the pack. And I think the team has just told him, stop passing cars. You're not allowed to regain your position. You do have to start from the back of the field as per the rules.
That's what I'm thinking. Yeah, I think he was thinking that he could start from the back of the Pirelli category by the way he was carving through the field. And they've probably got the rating on, no, from the back.
Yep.
So he's somebody else we need to keep an eye out for and how many passes he can make. The lights will go out on this safety car pretty soon, and we're going to get things underway for the final race of the weekend. They'll start to get themselves up into position. They're getting their tyres and their brakes up to temperature. left foot on the brake, right foot on the gas. Some weaving as well. Get the cars loaded up. Get yourself in the best possible position you can to get the start done tidily.
We're going to have two Pirinas line of stern with Medler and Tony Davis on the outside. They have yet to go side by side, though. This is interesting. I'm wondering if race control has waved off the start to allow McCarthy maybe to get back up to his original grid position.
I'm wondering the same thing. I was just thinking by now we would expect them to be side by side.
Yep.
But they have not gridded up just yet, and the lights are not out on the safety car, so the safety car is going for another lap.
So it's an aborted start, but the time will start as they cross the start-finish line.
That's interesting for the drivers at least, isn't it? So you think the clock is going to start ticking? It does. It does. So the clock has started. The 30 minutes has started. I'm surprised about that, but there we go. Okay, we're hearing debris in a corner from race control, so we have debris in one of the corners, so they'll get that swept and then we'll get underway.
It was interesting because at one point Massimo made a move to try and make it move as if he was going into the side-by-side, and then he was the one who actually bailed out of it. So now's the question also, can McCarthy retake his grid position? Because per the rules, no, if you don't roll off from the grid, you start from the back of the field, not the back of your class. So that should mean that Jason McCarthy is still behind a bunch of other cars, and ultimately means instead of starting, P5, he starts P26.
The clock has started as well. Will they?
Yep.
They will start side by side still, we think? Or we think it will go for a flying restart as the clock's already underway?
Given the sanctioning body of this series for Ferrari Challenge, typically when we go to a race start, even if it is coming as a result of a full course caution, they do try for the side-by-side. So this should be a traditional 2x2 start.
All right, let's see. As we get the cars around, there will be frantic communications going on, I'm sure, between teams and drivers, as the drivers will want that same information to know exactly what's going on. Pirelli closing up on the back of Medler. I think the lights out on the safety car. It looks
They'll
like
go
they
out
are
after the toe of the boot.
So they won't wait. They'll wait until late in the lap. Medler
Correct.
warming up those tyres. You can see it laying down Pirelli rubber as he leans hard on the car. That's Acosta in the background swerving as well, just trying to get the temperature in.
The other thing that Ethan McWilliams will have to be cognizant of, and this is difficult because it's his first year in the championship, Jason McCarthy will not start P5. That does not mean that Ethan McWilliams gets to move up a position. He needs to go to his original grid spot and then go from there. So if they do go side by side and McWilliams goes to the inside when he should be on the outside, if you see what I mean, that would be a penalty.
Right, let's see then. What's your... Yeah, no, he's in the right
good.
position. Yeah, he's in the right position. Okay, so let's run you through those front two rows again. You've got in the white car with the red nose is Massimo Pirelli, who is having a record-breaking season. Alongside him is Dylan Medler, last year's champion. Behind him in the opposite colour scheme is his uncle Roberto Pirelli. And in the black and fluoro yellow and blue car is Tony Davis. So they're the ones to keep your eyes out for. Of course, in the background, anything can happen. McCarthy, McWilliams, Cook, etc. Dave Musial Jr. There's then a gap back to Pirelli Am. We'll take a look at those in a minute. Porter with the white and green is the pole man there, with Mathez sitting in P2. Remember, we've got the driver starting at the very back of the pack as well. Right. All gridded up, good to go. What's going to happen on the run to the first corner? There's some very, very eager drivers out there. Keep it calm, folks. We don't need any more incidents in this one. The safety car's going to go to the inside line, and Pirelli will pick up the throttle when he sees fit as they come down the start-finish straight. Everyone else will have to react. He got away nicely yesterday from Medler. It's another good start by Pirelli, and I'm not sure that Medler has reacted quickly enough. He's getting swallowed up here. Pirelli, Roberto has come through with him. Up the inside goes Cook into P3 from a long way back on the grid. Trying to go around the outside now. Medler is desperately trying to hold to P3, but he's definitely going to end up fourth. The pole man, Porter, has got Mathez alongside as they run down into the S's and then up the other side. And Ray Acosta is right there as well, trying to pick up the pieces if there are any to pick up. Mathez drops back into P2. Clean start so far. Any moves up here at the bus stop on the run in there on lap number 1? No, not so far. So Medler is in behind Cook.
Very brave move from Michael Mathes to try and make it too wide going through the S's. He decided to back out of it very smartly and now was trying to fend off Ray Acosta. But what I saw on the start of that was Pirelli teamwork, and beyond that, Team Seattle, Ferrari of Seattle, all working together as one. Massimo Pirelli, Roberto Pirelli, they accelerated at the exact same time, and Brian Cook, back in P5 at the start, he did exactly what he was supposed to do. All three of them clear of Dylan
In theory,
Medler.
you could run a radio call, couldn't you, which effectively is radio between the two cars, so that when the leading Pirelli goes, that Roberto is already on the throttle, and that's what allows them then to get past Medler at the start. Medler got beaten at both starts there, but as you say, when you're up against two cars, that makes it a bit tricky, and when you're on the outside line, it's hard to get in. So Ray Acosta is looking to make moves early in the race. Always nice if you can, because he's looking at the back of, you can see here, Mathes, who's in the borrowed car, which is why it says 5T on it, after he shunted on Friday during official practice. You want to make moves early when you're feeling the confidence, don't you? If you can catch people out early doors, it helps.
And these guys have been waiting a long time now for their opportunity to go out and race, so they have thought about every possible move they can make. We're seeing the fruit of that coming to fruition now as drivers are making the passes, maybe in spots that they didn't yesterday, but they feel more comfortable today because they've gone back, they've watched the video, they've had the conversations overnight. We need to keep an eye on Jason McCarthy as well, because he started 26th overall as a result of that tire change in the pit lane. One lap, he's up to P21.
Yeah, he needs to side through the field, doesn't he, as quick as he can. Who else am I looking for to see making moves? I'm going to scroll down on the screen. Mascaro I was looking for, but he's still down in P17 at the moment in Trofeo Pirelli AM, so he'll be looking also to try and move up if he can.
Dave Musial 2.0 looking very racy on Gray Favre. The two of them separated by 0.3 of nothing at all. Both of these sons of guys who are driving in the Trofeo Pirelli AM class. 2.0's dad is in car number 30. That's the one from Ferrari of Lake Forest with the Joker on the side. And Brad Favre is in car number 66. He was our pole sitter and race winner from yesterday.
Massimo Prina with the fastest lap on the opener. Where's Medler? Medler flashing the lights, looking to find a way past Cook. He does not want the Perinas to get away, but he's going to have to get a wiggle on if he wants to get past Cook. Cook was flying yesterday.
Cook was brilliant yesterday in the race, and right now he is playing tail gunner for his Seattle teammates. Now, they're all out there for themselves, but the podium celebration that we saw yesterday, Andrew, all those blue shirts from that one organization, that's one family.
We've been talking, haven't we, about Pirina, Massimo, that is, continuing his incredible run of form in terms of poles and wins and fastest laps. But imagine if Ferrari of Seattle could lock out the podium 2 days in a row. That arguably could be their greatest weekend in the history of it. Yeah, if you also take the poles and the fastest laps, that would be an amazing achievement. There'll be some serious team photos and hopefully some team celebrations going on as well.
And what they were able to achieve in the Copa Shell class as well with Jan Bernier. So it's just a good weekend all around for that entire organization, as it's been a very good weekend for Michael Porter. At least today was. In the mixed conditions for qualifying, he managed to come through and snag a pole position, his second as far as my records show, going back to a couple years ago where he managed to get one at Sonoma. But Michael Mathis is a speedy guy around these parts.
Mascaro's in, so I did wonder, because he was at the back of the pack and dropping away, and this isn't the Sebastian Mascaro that we're normally used to. I'm really disappointed for him. He's sitting in P2 in the standings. Dave Musial is behind him. That was coming here. Obviously, there were some points up for grabs yesterday. Where's Musial? To be fair, Musial's down in P20, probably 10th or 11th in the class. So Mascaro might get away with this, with the other drivers being in front in terms of not losing too many points. Jay Logan is in there, and Ophir Levy. Ophir Levy's the biggest threat, really. We've got a huge off.
McCarthy.
Oh, that's McCarthy with the whole of the front left off. So he was making hay, and unfortunately he's cutting grass now as he pulls the car off the side of the road.
I think that's it. The heel of the boot was where it started. He was pulling off by the toe of the boot, but
there was debris in the track, though, wasn't there? Yep. That's my worries. I think it will be a full course yellow, and it is. As we say, that full course yellow comes out.
The 2.1 second advantage for Massimo over Roberto deletes.
I don't think he'd be too concerned, though, will he? With a line start and knowing that Cook is between Pirina and Medler, he knows Roberto. And okay, that's what Jason's hit.
About.
So that is unfortunate.
Benoit Bergeron with severe tail damage.
So the problem there is likely the pace differential. McCarthy's coming up through the field. He's on an absolute charge. Bergeron is in that mid-pack, and he's probably caught him at a moment. Bergeron's maybe lifted where he didn't expect, and boom.
or got on the
or
brakes.
a mistake, yeah. Or, yeah, I mean, to be fair, it could be a mistake from McCarthy. He might have come in too hot and just lost it. If we've got it, we'll show you, but we'll wait and see.
It could be as simple as Bergeron broke at his normal spot, and Jason McCarthy wasn't expecting him to break at that point, and just a miscommunication between the two cars. But unfortunately, it's resulted in two cars that will be taking no further part in today's race. So we go back to a full course caution, and hopefully there's not too much debris on the track to clean up either.
Hopefully no barriers damaged.
It's before the boot even, because now we've got Bergeron continuing through the shortcut, so maybe that was into the bus stop.
It is.
Yep,
it's
at
the
the
exit of the
exit.
bus stop. It's the exit of the bus stop. Oh, yeah. Let's get the brooms out. Let's take a look at the replay here.
Okay.
So that's Musial. Bergeron's dropped it, has he? I think Bergeron's dropped it. I think...
Yes.
Yeah, I reckon. Oh, that's unlucky. And look at it. It's absolute carnage. Musial's come through in the background. There's avoidance action, a spin. Is that... Who's that? Is that... It wasn't Favre, was it? Who's had to avoid in the background as well?
Not with an all
there
red
are
car.
There are many red Ferraris. This is one of the problems. We think it is Favre.
Huh.
Maybe facing the wrong one. It's hard to see. Where's he running? We need them to come back round over stop. No, there he is.
Yeah.
So
Yep.
it was
Brad
him
Favre.
then? It was him that spun, we think?
Yes.
So time lost. Yeah, so, okay, our cameraman, brilliant job to whip like that when there's a shunt going on. I think Bergeron dropped it. What do you think? Because Musial was behind, and then I just think McCarthy's got nowhere to go.
And it's horrible for Jason McCarthy. Wrong place, wrong time.
Well, and of course that's the problem, is if he hadn't been with the issue, having to come out of pit lane and run to the back of the pack, he wouldn't have to cut up through it.
Really unfortunate. Jason McCarthy will be devastated over that damage to his car that he'll feel was completely unnecessary. But at the end of it, both drivers hopefully are okay and able to walk away from their cars. Cars are able to be replaced. It just takes some money,
time and money,
and some elbow grease.
Yeah,
but,
it is annoying when it's not your fault, and yeah, we're not laying them. Unlucky for Bergeron, it happens. You know, sometimes you make a mistake and you drop it, and when you do, you know, the people behind you, you can't blame that driver. He's made a mistake. You've got to avoid them when they've made the mistake. You're coming in.
It's no malintent,
but it's it's a racing incident. Is what we're trying to say. It's disappointing for all parties. But particularly, I think, for McCarthy being out of position, he wouldn't have expected to be that far down in the pack. So there you go. That is the way the cookie crumbles. Talking of the cookie, he's in P3 behind the two Perinas. Do you like that little
he's
link
not
there?
crumbling.
Yeah. He's not crumbling. No, he's not. A medler behind him was flashing his lights, trying to find his way through. It was then Davis, McWilliams, and Favre with Musial Jr., the top 8 in Pirelli. And as we know, we've lost McCarthy. So the top 8 Pirelli runners running at the front of the field. You've then got Porter, Mathes, and Acosta are the top 3 at the moment. Showing Brad Favre in P4.
Yep. And then Greg Hopkins.
So that must be despite the spin. Let's have another look. We've got another look here. Oi, oi, oi.
What a testament to the strength of these cars, though, that by the time Jason McCarthy's car came back down onto the racing surface, aside from the hole in the left front of the car, it looked perfectly drivable.
Did, yeah. It doesn't look that bad from this side, does it? When we saw the front angle, it was not in mint condition, it has to be said.
Greg Hopkins up into P5, though. Really glad to see that as we go on board with Dan Magnuszewski.
Flashing yellow lights on the dash, that's an indicator for him as to what the flag conditions are out on track, which is always handy, because I can promise you, if you're driving as fast as you can around a track, looking for people with flags is not as easy as you think it might be.
No, and it's part of this system that's come into racing fairly recently. It's a brilliant safety feature for all of these cars that you still have to assume that the driver is looking in their rear view camera. They're seeing what's behind them, but there is no excuse for not seeing a flag, not knowing that something's going on. And he's got a little fan club around the track. Way to go, as people are enjoying a beautiful summer day in upstate New York.
That's what I'm here for. Big name signs and barbecues.
Yeah.
That's awesome. If you're not in Casa Ferrari, that's where you need to be. He waves at them apparently every time he goes round. That's brilliant. That's pretty well. I like the idea that I'm being told he's waving at them for full course. That's not what I want to hear. Dan Magnuszewski, those people are there for you. I want to see you waving on the fast laps, No, you can't. Do you agree?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
And if you need your right hand to upshift,
Commit
then just
already.
take your left hand and
Commit already.
give a quick little
It's
wave.
a paddle shift. Everything's fine.
It's fine. I know his coach will be on the radio to him as well, reminding him to wave to his adoring fans.
Turn
every time he
10,
goes
keep
by.
it wide, keep running wide. Wave at the
Wave.
fans. Turn 11 on the brakes in, nice and smooth now. You waved a bit too long there.
Shift.
Yeah, shift. Yeah, we can see the telemetry. Yeah, use the other hand for the waving.
Yeah. Dave is behind, Dan is behind Dave right now, as Dave Musial is P20 overall. We were just talking about where he's a little bit further down in the championship, but Dave Musial still has potential to climb up. He's got Bruce Cleveland ahead of him, and then Gertis van Slovis. Those two cars will be very tricky to try and get around, but Dave Musial, he'd be up to the challenge. I remember a couple years ago when a competitor had an issue with their car. Dave lent them parts, and so there was a car running around with bits of the Joker
on the side of the car.
On the side of the zombie car, I think we were calling it.
I love a good livery change. You know, when you're
it's-
halfway through and someone's running the white bumper, you're like, yeah, you've just been to the parts truck, haven't you? Yeah.
Oh, well, it was just extra advertising for the Musials because they were able to put bits and pieces of their cars on other cars.
Well, I mean, Nürnberg's getting some great reach this weekend.
Exactly.
You know, he's got like double livery out there, isn't he?
And 2 chances to win every race weekend. So
Two race-winning steeds.
Got it done
Cell,
yesterday
yeah.
in one of the races. Now he looks like he can get it done twice today. Martin Burrows just pulling out a line. We're still behind the safety car, just beyond halfway to go in this race. Fastest laps of the race, should be said, go the way of Massimo Perina. And in the second class, it is Michael Mathis with the fastest lap.
There's the wave. Yes, Dan. That's the way we roll. I like that. That's one of my favourite things I've seen this weekend. Look at it. There's the little sign. Look, they're in a couple of jars and a nice barbecue. I hope they're waving back. Do you think they are? I mean, they better be. I want to see waving. Yeah, we have a camera on you guys. If we don't see waving on the next lap to Dan Magnusinski, we're going to be pretty upset about it.
They should be waving, or at the very least cheersing him.
I'm going to be coming down there and having a word and maybe a burger. whatever's going on the grill down there, I'm here for it. That's your leader of Trofeo Pirelli Am, Porter, Michael Porter, who is, you said second pole, I think, didn't you, Shay?
Yes.
With Mathis behind, who was yesterday's winner in the borrowed car from Nürburgring, then Ray Acosta. Remember, Acosta was aggressive at the standard start, and I'm hoping will go aggressive again. Good passer, I think, and he might just go let's go when the restart comes. Try and capitalise in that first act, because once the rhythm comes, it's really hard to make any passes.
Ray Acosta is a guy who doesn't do anything without adding a certain level of competitiveness. He goes fishing, and of course it's competitive fishing for Ray Acosta.
It has to be competitive fishing, doesn't it?
He's a wonderful guy, a lot of fun to be around in the paddock, and always adds a lot with that giant smile on his face. A lot of these drivers should have a giant smile on their face because we should be going back to green. We'll see if the lights are indeed out in the safety car, and they are, which means it's time for more racing.
It is go time for the two Perinas up front. Then we've got Cook and Medler just in behind. Look for people taking advantage of early tardiness. If you're not bang on it straight away, watch for people trying to make that move.
Tony Davis is always good for some fireworks as well, pun intended.
I like the pun. Apparently an amazing firework display here last year with a James Bond theme, which everybody really enjoyed. Gutted I missed that. Big James Bond fan. I enjoy a firework, That sounds good. Right, let's get things back underway. So Perina will back the pack up a little bit. I wonder if they'll use the same tactics again. Were they on the radio at the start originally? If they were, I'm pretty sure they'll do the same again at the restart, because it will just give them the jump. I was going to say on Cook, but Cook is also in that squad. So you could see the front three cars accelerate instantaneously, and Medler have to react to them because he won't know when they're going to go. And as I say that, they've gone really early. On the gas super early. Medler's responded well as the rest of the pack. Out towards the wall, full throttle in the 296 challenge cars down towards turn one. Medler just looks out the slipstream, too far back to make a move, but he's just shown himself in the mirrors. In the background, that's Venceslas in the yellow car, off here Levy in the beige car looking up the inside. You are looking there at Ray Acosta, who hasn't managed to capitalise just yet. There's Levy tucked up in behind as well. Lots of racing going on through the pack. Come on, Ray Acosta, let's see if he's going to do anything exciting Matthes in front of him, yesterday's winner. Acosta loves an aggressive move at the restart, but I think he's too far back.
And almost equivalent gaps between Medler, Davis and McWilliams as they come through, and now Medler's actually caught back up to Cookie under the braking going through the bus stop as 2.0 is still all over Favre. So the battle for 4th, 5th, 6th, and 7th, and 8th in that case for the Trofeo Pirelli continues through that yellow flag.
Super close between them. Just a little gap now between Trofeo Pirelli AM and the Trofeo Pirelli drivers in the back. Oh, wow, look at that. The Perinas are gone. So both the Perinas, Massimo and Roberto, immediately on the restart moves. You have a look to the inside, is it, I think?
That's, 2.0 is getting tired of looking at the back of Favre's car, trying to find a way through. And meanwhile, Porter is trying to do his best to drop Mathis, but Mathis and Acosta, they are coming.
Off here, Levy trying to make a move in the background here as well. The beige car right in the background on the horizon. He's looking up the inside. Is he close enough this time? No. So Levy, is it McWilliams in front? It is, yeah. McWilliams was late on the brake. You actually saw the nose of the car dive. He was so aggressive on the brakes, and Levy unable to capitalise and look up the inside line. So off here, Levy, that's his second time he's pulled out the slipstream on this opening lap of the restart. Levy is close again. So Levy is really looking for a way through. McWilliams, though, is driving well. Look at the exit speed that Levy's got. McWilliams slightly early on the brake. Levy comes streaming through now. Watch for the two of them. Is Levy close enough to make a move to turn 1? He's tucked up underneath the rear wing. This is a good slipstream opportunity. He'll have to be brave on the brakes here. Looks up the inside line. He is late on the brakes. Is he going to run wide on the exit? Off here, Levy with a nice pass. Keeps it inside the white lines and doesn't lose it on the exit. That's a great move by Off here, Levy. Teed that up about half a lap ago.
That was very well done, and it opened the door for Martin Burrows behind as well on Rob McWilliams. I wondered if Levy maybe got his tires prepared better for the restart, slightly better than McWilliams, because he just seemed to have that tiny bit more grip.
He looked aggressively from the restart while we were watching what was going on in the front. There's a few cars that are instantly recognised. He's got that quite, cutting over the curbs there was Acosta in the dirt on the inside line. But yeah, the beige colour is so noticeable in the back, and he just kept tucking out of the slipstream and making it pretty obvious that he was trying to make moves on this opening lap. He, of course, might be aware of the fact that in front of him, Sebastian Mascaro's had a problem. I think he's ahead of Jay Logan, so he's thinking championship moves as well.
Michael Mathis is trying to figure out a way to get around Michael Porter, but it's easier said than done as Porter is looking very strong, and Mathis has to keep checking his mirrors with the red and black car of Acosta.
And has Levy already caught up to the back of Hopkins? I think he has, or he's close.
He's definitely getting close. His lap times are very consistent and quick. Not close enough yet to deploy a tow hook, but he's getting there,
isn't he? He's getting there. So off here, Levy is making moves in this one. Look for good exit speed again here. This was where he was gaining time last time round. And again, can he tee up another move into turn 1? Off here, Levy does it 2 laps in a row. It'd be very impressive indeed. Needs great exit speed here. Out of 10 into 11. He's later on the brakes. Tuck that nose in on the throttle early. I don't know if he's going to be close enough. How good is his exit speed this time? He's just not quite close enough. Needs one more car length to be in the slipstream. If he goes from there, he's a bit brave. And he decides not to. So Levy trying to get past Hopkins, and we'll have another crack at it, I'm sure. Could he have a go into the bus stop? It's ultra brave there. He's got better speed in the S's. Looks to the outside. Don't lose the speed here. You might as well just tuck in and wait.
Yeah, he washed out a bit too much at the bottom of the S's. As further up the field, Cookie has his hands full with Dylan Medler. Brian Cook is needing to drive defensive, trying to hold on to the last place on the podium to do it for his team. They want another Seattle sweep for the Ferrari dealership.
I like that.
Can they do it?
I like that. A Seattle sweep, Shay. I like that a lot. Good. That's a great call. The Seattle sweep 2 days in a row. Shay Adam named it. We'll let her trademark that one. But Medler wants to spoil it, doesn't he? Medler wants to spoil the sweep. We understand that. He's looking for a way through. Here is Perina. That's Roberto Perina, of course, in P2. P3, P4 coming through.
Massimo reset the fastest lap of the race that time around with 46.6. The next fastest lap was almost 2 seconds down the last time around. Massimo is checking out, and right now Brian Cook is going, how much time is left in the race? Can this be the last lap, please? I know I can hold them off, but I don't know for how long.
Yeah, 6 minutes 22 remaining. What we reckon 4 laps probably, isn't it? I would have said. So, barring anything going on in the background, looking to see where Levy was. There's pressure here on Davies from McWilliams, but not close enough to the difference at the moment. the first corner. Just got to keep it tidy through here. Right, looking as well for Ray Acosta there. Ray Acosta was right behind Matthes. On 11, no closer this time round. Watch for Acosta in the background with the bright stripes on the hood here. Sorry, bright orange stripes on the classic Ferrari red. Acosta's looking good here for P2. So we are seeing moves through the field. Matthes, yesterday's winner in that borrowed car from Nürburgring, on a slightly different line through the bottom of the S's. And Acosta coming through, nothing in it as they came over the line, 0.028. Would Acosta have a go at the bus stop? He's a long way back, I think not, but he has made some aggressive passes in the past. He moves early to the inside line, trying to give a big distraction, isn't he?
It really is, and Ray Acosta wants second. He actually wants first, but he thinks that he can get there, whereas Michael Matthes hasn't made the charge to the front yet. Michael Porter driving fairly unaccosted, which has been nice, and Ray Acosta would like to change that.
Ray Acosta would like to accost him if he possibly can. The Acosta is coming through the field. Can he get up to P1? Come on, let's go. Let's go. I feel he's got the pace and the aggression, but Matthes, look, he's got the fastest lap of the race still. Last time round, what was the difference between them? Matthes 49, yeah, nothing in it between them. Medler still stuck behind Cook. On in the background goes defensive on the brakes even, or is it offensive on Porter in front of him?
He had a look. Michael Matthes definitely had a look on Michael Porter, but then decided not to, and Acosta goes down the inside at turn 9. No, backs out of it. Oh, these three are together now. This is the battle for the lead, and right behind them is Brad Favre in that all-red number 66. He is not out of this battle either.
He could get to them if they start squabbling too much. Acosta is doing a lot in the mirrors. I'd be tempted to be doing a lot in the slipstream instead, and this time he might be able to. Acosta full throttle, but no, it's a good exit again from Matthes, and that's the trouble when you stick your nose out to show. If you lose exit speed, you kind of don't want to do it at the start of a sequence of corners that's leading to an overtaking opportunity. But you know what? I get it. You want to apply the pressure too. You maybe make the guy in front make a mistake.
But Andrew, you just described this whole track. A corner with the sequence of corners and then a passing opportunity.
Yeah.
That's what this track is.
Got to nail all those corners to get the opportunity. Porter is great through the S's and has managed to break away a little bit, but Acosta now is super close. Pulls out of the slipstream. Matthes goes defensive. Acosta comes out to the outside line. Should be able to carry more speed here through the bus stop and get back onto the back. He's looking around the outside. Now looks to the inside of Matthes, but there's no way through there. So now tuck in and look on the run down to heel. I think is his best opportunity to pull out the slipstream, unless he's going to do it in turn 1. Now comes out wide again. Diving late on the brakes. Don't get out of the back of that toe. Get yourself super close.
Ray Acosta's car, prepared by the collection, that 296 looks so stable. It's going wherever he wants to put it. Michael Matthes just has the ability to say, no, not here. And that is stymieing the efforts of Ray Acosta.
Yeah, Acosta, could he have looked after his tyres a bit more earlier in the race? It's hard to know, isn't it? Just looking, Levy is sitting in P6. I think in the background he's dispatched another car.
2 minutes and 45 seconds to go. Time is ticking down rapidly in this one. Out front, it is Massimo Piranha by 5.6 seconds. Still turning lap times a second faster than anyone else on the circuit.
Still, Acosta applies the pressure. Roberto Perina's just had done his fastest lap of the race. All the drivers from P7 down to P13 are putting in fastest laps of the race now because they're in this desperate fight to hold on to their positions. They come over the line, nothing in it, less than 100th or 2 between these two in terms of lap pace. I mean, Acosta's got to find a way through now. He's got 2 minutes 5. If he wants to try and, I think Porter's got enough breathing space. Even if he can get through, getting through will inevitably cost some time on the exit. So Porter's in a good position here, but he won't be feeling safe right now.
No, all Michael Porter needs to do is focus forward, get rid of your rear view camera and look ahead, because the battle behind is going to do whatever it's going to do. You've got Ray Acosta and Michael Matthes. Michael Matthes looking to sweep the weekend. Ray Acosta looking to get a victory because he wants nothing more than to win in Ferrari cars. His business partner made his debut at Le Mans this year. Ray Acosta wants to be a champion of Ferrari Challenge this year.
Where is Acosta now? Look in the background and see there. He's a little way off the back. If anything, I would say that Matthes is going towards Porter. So Mathews has Porter rolled out just a little bit too much. It's not a done deal yet. With a minute left, they're going to get another lap in here. So Porter needs to be careful that we don't end up with a four-way scrap on the last lap. Headlights are ablaze. Massimo Prina, who is just doing his own race out front, fastest lap. So he's got the fastest lap, he's got the pole, he might well end up getting the win as well. It's an incredible performance by him. He is out on his own, lacking any pressure. Porter is not. Porter just a few moments ago we were saying was away from the pressure, and now Mathews is piling it onto him. Yesterday's winner looking to do the double. So Mathews now needs to get a good exit on the run down to the first corner. Look in the background, Acosta uses all the curves on the way out. Now Acosta's in this pack as well. Porter moves across just a little bit. Maybe doesn't need to go defensive quite yet, but he will be aware of that car behind him.
He's got about 3 miles to go to a race win. Does Michael Porter? He needs to keep calm. Michael Mathews realizes that his opportunity is now, and he needs to stop looking in his rearview camera. And Ray Acosta realizes he is that close to potentially taking the upset from the 2 cars ahead.
Look how good Porter is through the S's. That's where he gets away. Porter gets away in the S's in that sector every time. And now Mathews is under pressure, so that takes the pressure off Porter, because Mathews will have his eyes backwards looking at Acosta. This is the way it goes when you're in a pack and racing. This is what we love about Ferrari Challenge as well. These cars all being so equally matched. There are opportunities aplenty on the last lap to take 2-3 places if somebody makes a mistake. Oh, and Acosta runs it out deep, looking for a run, but can't get past Mathews. He got a great exit. I don't think that's the place he's going to get it done. Another good exit now. He's really in tight behind, looks to the inside line again. Get it out wide. Surely it's into the heel if he can.
And shout out also to Tony Davis. We keep seeing shots of that blue and bright yellow car. He has managed to hold off all the chasing cars behind. Tony Davis holding on tightly to P5.
Massimo Prina, though, holding on to the lead, holding on to a big advantage in the championship, holding on to every single point he could possibly grab this weekend. 2 poles, 2 fastest laps, 2 wins. It's an epic championship season for Massimo Prina. He gets it done again. It will be a Prina 1-2 as Roberto Prina will come over the line in second place. The race continues to rage for Pirelli Am in the background. Roberto Prina does cross the line in P2. Brian Cook, is he ahead of Medler as they come round? I think he is. There's the battle as well for the lead. So Medler takes P4. Davis holds on to 5. McWilliams, Fowler, Musial Jr. Porter takes the win in Pirelli Am from Mathews and Acosta. They're separated by less than 0.8 of a second at the end of what was a great encounter. In the background here, Ophir Levy crosses the line in P15. Artis, great passing by him during this one as well. Lots of opportunity, not so much taken on, not so many people being able to make it stick, but this guy made it stick, didn't he? Massimo Prina. I think that's the 6th time, is it, this year now that he's done pole, the fastest lap and the win. Absolutely incredible.
And it's his 5th consecutive race
yes,
accomplishing that feat, which
is 5 in a row, 6 in total. That's insane.
It is insane. That is the perfect word for it. And I've just checked back through my records. I think this is Michael Porter's first win.
Oh, well, brilliant. If it is, fantastic. Congratulations to Porter. Great job, too, because the pressure came in hot at the end of that one.
He's a guy who raced a lot in the 80s, then took some time off from racing because of life, came back to it in 2019, and for Michael Porter today is a perfect day. Pole position and the race win. The fast lap went the way of Michael Mathews, which helps his championship hopes, but it's still going to be Brad Favre, by my math, leading the Trofeo Pirelli Am Championship after today. The interesting thing is that Pirena will, of course, move up in the points after Kaminsky not being here.
True.
But Massimo is the one we all focus on.
It is Massimo Prina taking the win from Roberto Prina and Brian Cook. It is that exact same result as yesterday. Another podium lockout for Ferrari of Seattle. Amazing performance. Dylan Medler gets 4th after a shocker yesterday. That's not so bad. Then it's Davis, McWilliams, Fowler, and Musial Jr. Michael Porter, we think, taking his first win from Michael Mathews, yesterday's winner. And in P3, Ray Acosta, who did a great job of entertaining us with lots of attempts at passes. He held off Brad Fowler. Then it was Hopkins, Burrows, Levy, who made a couple of good moves. But Williams, Venstler, Astiel, and Cleveland down to P19. Look at that field. Dave Musial, Jay Logan, Magnazuski, and Gutierrez finishing the race. Bergeron, McCarthy, and Mascaro. Unfortunately, DNFs here.
Makes Laguna Seca interesting.
It does. I can't believe we're on to Laguna Seca already. It's, it feels like yesterday that we were in Sonoma. So it's, yeah. Great stuff. Brakes creaking. I'm sure there's a few joints creaking out there as well as drivers finally sort of shake off the pressure of the weekend when it's done and it's dusted and you're finished. It's quite a nice feeling of relief, isn't it?
Yeah, we had the one accident, of course, and I do call that an accident, not an incident, because it was nobody at fault. But
these things happen.
What clean racing did we have today? We had a lot of overlapping, we had a lot of interacting, a lot of harassing, but everybody was respectful. And at the end of the day, we've got a lot of people who should be proud of what they were able to accomplish.
Hazard lights are on as some of those cars will be peeling off into some of the pedestrian areas, and they'll be making their way down to the podium, the holding area. And we'll get those podiums done just as soon as we can. Let's take a look at the standings for Pirelli. Massimo Perina now with a 47-point lead over Dylan Medler. And Roberto Perina, look, he's only 13 points off the back of Medler. So there is a bit of me that thinks Perina would love to do, well, the Perina family, surely. But Roberto, he said how much he's enjoyed a podium with Massimo. Imagine if they were P1 and 2 in the standings, he'd be over the moon with that. I think Falva is a little way too far back, but he's equal on points with Musial Jr. So there's a battle going on there. And just 2 points behind is Tony Davis. Johnny Kaminsky drops down, and that's a real shame because he was unable to compete here because he's 16 years old. He is only 10 points off getting back into the top 4. So having missed a weekend, he probably won't get back to Roberto Perina and co, but he will want to get back to being the best of the rest. So will Kaminsky be able to race at Laguna Seca?
Yes.
Yes, good stuff. There we go. Yes, Laguna Seca and your rules. Jason McCarthy, Brian Cook, and so on down to the back of the pack. But Massimo Perina, brilliant performance. There is Parc Ferme. The first of the cars is rolling into the holding area to a round of applause. It should be a huge cheer, really. That is the 6th time for pole, win, and fastest lap. 5 in a row across 3 different circuits. The 2 here, the 2 at Indy. I mean, just to keep doing, and it must have been Miami prior to that. The circuits couldn't be more different. A street circuit, the most famous oval in the world, followed now by a wonderful roller coaster of a track. I mean, it can do it everywhere.
And if it doesn't make you emotional to see the reaction of Roberto Perina pulling into the victory area for P2, hand out the window, cheering because he was able to smack Massimo's dad's hand from his car. And of course, the podium sweep for Ferrari of Seattle extending to Michael Porter, getting the win in the Trofeo Pirelli AM class as well.
4 out of 6 in the Parc Ferme area.
They can't ask for a much better result than that. As Michael Porter climbs out of his car, a race winner, getting to celebrate. Look at all the blue shirts down there. That's how you know.
Yeah, the Stoke is real, isn't it?
The Ferrari
great paint job on the lid as well. Look at that. That's a great lid.
Yeah, it is. Matches the car. Same livery. Ferrari of Seattle has a lot to celebrate after this weekend.
Perfect weekend. I mean, it's just incredible. It really is a fantastic performance.
Roberto there, Cookie getting his hug from Michael Porter. This is the ultimate family celebration. I feel like there's going to be a rather large party for them tonight, don't you?
I hope so. I mean, if I were them, I'd be postponing whatever flights I had and saying I think it's about time we had an adult beverage or a few. You know, they're going to waste some champagne in a minute, but it'll be wasted in the finest way possible, I can tell you, on the podium here at Watkins Glen after a great weekend of racing. This is a beautiful part of the world. If you ever get the chance to come up here, it's my first trip to the top end of New York State, and was the Finger Lakes, is it? I think it's the Finger Lakes. Yeah, it's been absolutely beautiful. So thank you to Ferrari for bringing us to such a fantastic venue. Somebody will be very pleased with his results here is, of course, Massimo Perina. He's with Nina Jade Paul now.
Yes, I am standing with Massimo. Double win, double pole, double fastest lap. We spoke earlier about how you're constantly thinking about the championship. What does a weekend like this do for your momentum and your mindset?
For the mindset, it absolutely sets it forward, especially getting to share a podium like this with 4 members of the team, actually 5 with Jan. It's absolutely unbelievable. I'm so proud of absolutely everyone wearing blue and under the Ferrari Seattle tent.
Speaking of Ferrari Seattle, double podium lookouts this weekend. You guys are incredibly dominant. How proud are you of your teams?
I can't even put it into words. I'm unbelievably proud. I mean, coming from a very, very small team about 5 years ago to now doing 2 podium lockouts is absolutely unbelievable. I just think it just speaks to the caliber of the team.
Congratulations. Celebrate tonight.
Thank you very much. I will.
Calibre of the team, absolutely, with the results, having that number of cars in that area at the end of the race. But the calibre of the driving, for me, is speaking volumes. And whilst I'm very much enjoying having Massimo Perina in Ferrari Challenge North America, you can't help but think that this lad is going to go places. I think he's displaying a level of maturity and pace which is above maybe his years.
To me, he's very similar to Nicholas Nielsen from a few years ago. Won Ferrari Challenge in Europe, got noticed by Ferrari Factory, won the Mans 2 years ago in the hypercar, in the 499P.
Yeah.
So he's demonstrating exactly that level of prowess in the prancing horse brand. And clearly it means a lot to his family and to his team. I don't believe him, though. I don't think he's going to party tonight. I think he'll wait and celebrate when he wins the championship if he gets there. But in the meantime, we've got another driver who's celebrating. Nina Jade is with Michael Porter.
Yes, I'm standing with Michael. First pole this morning, first win this afternoon, and you had to work for that. That wasn't easy. Talk us through your emotions.
I'm over the top. Last time I was in a race car, I was in a hospital in Daytona, and to come back and have a win is so cool. I just hi to my family back home. It's awesome.
And you had Ray Acosta and Michael Mathers right behind you the whole time. What was it like handling that pressure?
It was tough. Michael got a great start, and we had a battle up into turn 2, and I held on, and then it was just try to hit my marks. It was a fight. Those guys are good, and they were definitely waiting for me to make a mistake.
It's such a great weekend for your team as well. How proud are you?
Yeah, it's amazing. It's like the Ferrari SCL magic finally rubbed off on me. It's been a long wait.
Congratulations again.
Oh, thank you so much.
All winning drivers, please make your way to the podium for the podium ceremonies. Fantastic job by Michael Porter. You could see how much that meant to him, taking the win. Great job on the car, great job on his lid as well. And now he's going to go stand on the top step of the podium.
And you could see how hard he had to work for that win.
Yeah.
I mean, he was kept honest through that one. It wasn't just a pull to win on paper. It was quite some challenge in between. Really glad to see all of these guys and girls celebrating everything that they have accomplished. And what do the points look like now? Well,
Brad Favre leads Sebastian Mascaro. So despite Mascaro's misfortune this weekend, he is still just 25 points off the leader, Brad Favre. Dave Musial, P3 off the Levy. P4 moves up a place and only by a few points. And that goes to show you how important those passes were from off the Levy. And look, he's only, what, 7? No, Andrew, your maths is terrible. 9 points behind a podium position. Everything's fine. Maths isn't as important as racing cars, everyone. Bruce Cleveland got 14 places. I said there's some drivers who haven't been to so many events. Bergeron dropping down a bit after that spin today. Hopkins, Cagnazzi, Marston, Duran, Horsch, Pan and Kirchmeier down to P22. Lots of drivers taking part this year. Fantastic to have them all along with us at Ferrari Challenge.
and now all that's left is to go celebrate. Spray some champagne, lift some trophies, get some new hats, and then it's on to Laguna Seca.
It is indeed. I'm going to say a big thank you indeed to Shay Adam. Thank you so much. Pleasure working with you. Yeah, great to have you here in the announcing booth and back at a series that you know so well. Thank you for all your wonderful insight. Thank you also to Nina Jade Paul reporting down in the paddock and the pit lane. My name's Andrew Coley. I will remain with you for the podium ceremonies, which will begin shortly. So stay with us. We're rounding up our drivers. There's a Ferrari corral down there, but we're getting a driver corral on the go as well before we spray the champagne for the final time here at Watkins Glen. Stay with us. Podium still to come. All winning drivers, please make your way to the podium now. The podium ceremony is about to begin. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the final podium presentation for the 5th weekend of Ferrari Challenge North America. Coming to you from Watkins, Glen International. Delighted to have you along with us for the weekend. We're ready to get started and bring out our first podium. So let's begin then with the presentation for the 296 Ferrari Challenge Trofeo Pirelli class. In third place, Brian Cook. In second place, Roberto Perina. And your winner today for the 5th time in a row, Massimo Perina. Great drive, everybody. Fantastic results. Please now remove your hats for the winner's national anthem. To present the trophies to our winners, I'd like to welcome Paul Nijaranand from Ferrari North America. We'd also like to invite Lucio Vignani from Pirelli Motorsport and from our partners at Pirelli to present the Pirelli Award to our winner, Massimo Perina. Please now give it up as well for a representative from Ferrari of Seattle to accept the Trofeo Pirelli Team Award, once again presented by Paul Nijaranand from Ferrari North America. It is a Seattle sweep for the second day in a row. What a performance by this team. Congratulations, everybody. The photos are done. You know what to do. You guys are the experts. It's time for the champagne. Next up then, let's invite the podium for the 296 Ferrari Challenge Trofeo Pirelli AM category. In third place, Ray Acosta. In second place, Michael Mathes. And your winner today on the top step, Michael Porter. Congratulations, everybody. Please now remove your hats for the winner's national anthem. Please welcome to the stage Luke Schock, manager of the fantastic Watkins Glen International, to present the trophies to our winners. P3 across to Ray Acosta. P2 going to Michael Mathes. And of course P1 to Michael Porter. We'd also like to invite Lucio Vignani from Pirelli Motorsport, from our partners at Pirelli, to present the Pirelli Award to our winner, Michael Porter. And one more time, let's give it up for a representative from Ferrari of Seattle to accept the Trofeo Pirelli AM Team Award, once again presented by Luke Schock, manager for Watkins Glen International. What a performance this weekend by Ferrari of Seattle. Congratulations, everybody. Hold those trophies up quickly for a photo opportunity. And now you know what to do. Let's get those trophies down. It's time for the champagne. Okay, then let's get ourselves good for our next podium then, please. We're going to get the winners from the 296 Ferrari Challenge Copper Shell up onto the stage. So please welcome in P3, Gary Ott. In second place, Jan Bernier. And your winner today, completing the double, Mitchell Green. Give a big hand as well, please, to the winner of the Ladies' Cup, Lisa Clark. And already on the stage in P3, the Gentleman's Cup winner, Gary Ott. So, ladies and gentlemen, please remove your hats for our winner's national anthem. I'd now like to introduce Anthony Flanagan, Lapinese catering manager, to present the trophies to our winners. Now, these are the team who look after us, of course, in Casa Ferrari. So a big thank you to Anthony and all the squad down there for looking after all the drivers, the teams, and everybody else. It's a wonderful view from Casa Ferrari, but it's fantastic food and drinks in there as well. One more trophy to go for Lisa Clark. Oh no, Gary as well. We've got Gary Ott's Gentleman Cup as well. We're going to do Gary. Gary wants his trophy. No. There it is. There it is. Gary Ott gets the Gentleman's Cup. Look at that, he's very pleased with himself. Excellent stuff. Please welcome a representative from Ferrari Westlake to accept the Copper Shell Team Award. Once again presented by Anthony Flanagan, Lapinese catering manager. There we are. I think the photo opportunity is done already, so there's just one more thing left to do for the final time this weekend for you guys. It's time for the champagne! Time then for the final podium here at Watkins Glen. Let's give a warm welcome to the podium finishers for the 296 Ferrari Challenge Copper Shell Am. In third place, Lewis Flory. In second place, it's Gabe Hrib. And your winner, P1 today, Jeffrey Nunberg. Gabe Hrib spotted they're on the wrong sides. Good lad, Gabe. That's the detail we need. Jeffrey Nunberg with some brilliant passes today. Also, please welcome the Ladies' Cup winner, Melissa Kozira. A fantastic pole position from Melissa today as well, in very tricky conditions. Great driving. And also our Gentleman's Cup winner, Lance Corley. Ladies and gentlemen, please now remove your hats for the winners' national anthem. I'd now like to introduce Trevor Smith from Ferrari North America to present the trophies to our winners. P3 and P2 done. Oh no, we've gone early on the champagne. It's all good, don't worry. On to P1. Jeffrey Nürnberg, 3 great passes up in turn 1 to get that done. Fantastic driving. Melissa Kozira, what a day for Melissa. Brilliant pole position, I say, in those wet conditions by nearly a second. It was a great drive. And Lance Corley as well. Please welcome now a representative from Ferrari of Central New Jersey to accept the Copper Shell AM Team Award, once again presented by Trevor Smith from Ferrari North America. Right, get those trophies held high, please, people. We're going to do this one last time to finish off a brilliant weekend at Watkins Glen. Get those trophies down. It is time for the champagne! Champagne then and confetti here at Watkins Glen to round out the doubleheader weekend that is weekend number 5 of Ferrari Challenge North America 2025. We're heading down to Laguna Seca in California for the final rounds before some of the drivers head to Italy, of course, for the finale mondiale. Thank you so much for joining us. We'll see you in a few weeks' time for more action from Ferrari Challenge North America.